evening, everyone. Welcome to Out of Bounds. Hey, how's it going? I am Kungfufruitcup, and I am here to bring on awesome people to show off glitches and glitch-heavy speedruns. If it's your first time here, welcome on in. I hope you love glitches as much as I do. I'm so excited. So we tonight are basically on our part 2 or round 2, if you will, of indie horror speedruns. So we have 3 more awesome streamers coming in to show off 3 more games or series of games and all the glitches around them, used in them for speedruns, etc., and to help like break them down for us. So we get to like learn more about them, etc. So yeah, and I wanted to be in the Halloween mood since that is tomorrow, and we've been doing all of these scary games on the show this month. So so that being said, tonight we are starting with Vinata. How are you doing? Hello.
Hello, Thank you very much for having me.
Yes.
And welcome to BloodRayne. This is a very fun game, actually. It is indeed very out of bounds heavy. And
cool. So yes, so Vin is going to be showing off BloodRayne this evening. And as always, we'll be getting a countdown in just a second for it. Can get into all of that. But as we go along tonight, feel free to post questions in chat. You all can ask whenever. I can help relay questions, things like that. And again, like, if it's your first time, I am kind of here to just feature the streamers on to talk about the games. I'll be taking more of a backseat role, help relay stuff, react to things, etc. So that's kind of my job here. So with that being said, again, we have BloodRayne on. So Vin, what I'm going to do is have you go ahead and count down and then lead us into it, show us through the glitches, just take us through.
Absolutely.
Cool. Okay.
Okay, so it's going to be selecting in Act 1, Louisiana, and then we will select easy mode. And as soon as we select easy mode, that is when time begins, just to make sure then as well. Time ends at I will state when that actually happens, but you will kind of know when there's 2 bosses at the very end of the game. One looks very demonic, and one is a guy who really can be super aggro or just really casual. It kind of depends. But yeah, so I'll give you a countdown in 3, 2, 1, and go. So naturally, we do start off kind of just doing things quite simply. And a little prerequisite for running BloodRayne, whenever you get that, the Steam version or the Good Old Games version, you will have both the terminal cut as well as a legacy version. And legacy version is the one that I'm using. You can tell because the water looks absolutely dreadful. Very murky, very early 2000s. And also, you have to have your frame rate set to unlimited. And at least if you're using NVIDIA, you can set it to unlimited or at least 400 frames per second. But I think a lot of machines just have it set. You can just set it to unlimited. So everything that you'll see in this run, in order to perform these glitches, those are the prerequisites. The first one is right here, so that we skip about 4 levels. And it involves this little corner here.
Wait,
and
we're
a tendril.
4 levels?
Yeah, we're skip 4 levels, and we do that. And we're already out of bounds.
So can you kind of explain, take us through how you did that?
Yeah, what basically happens is, excuse me while I just get rid of that guy, but thankfully because we're in easy mode, we take less damage, but there's a tendril right here, and we use that to kind of shift ourselves out of this little corner. And corners are going to be very important for the entirety of the run because that's generally how we get out of bounds in so many areas, and some of them are not going to look like corners, but trust me, they are corners. And
or
this
seams,
is going to
maybe?
be... Sorry?
Or seams, maybe? At least?
Yeah, it's kind of just... You might see it and you might not, which is the weird thing. And also just to kind of point out as well, you will probably see a lot of enemies flying in the air. That is just because of the frame rate. And it is absolutely normal. Don't worry about it. One thing as well is I'm just going to get a little bit of life off of this guy. Because we're a vampire, we do have to suck blood. And one little thing here is because we have our frame rate... Never mind, okay. I got very lucky there. So usually he stays stuck on the tree. And in order to get him unstuck, you usually kind of do a downward slash, kind of on the leg. Or the alternative, which was the old method, until I found that method, was going to the corner here and just doing this to lower your frame rate.
Oh my gosh.
But unfortunately with this level, we do have to kind of take it as, you know, the slow route, because it is pretty much an escort mission. You do have to do a little bit of spider babysitting. You don't want to stray too far from him, otherwise, if you do, obviously you fail the mission, but also it can cause him to glitch a little bit as well, where this creature which we're following back to the nest, he kind of gets stuck. Okay. In the floor or in water or just something, this weird ether he just gets trapped in. But we just have to stay kind of close to him and all of our problems are solved. Another thing with with the run is the meter on the bottom right. That is our blood rage meter. The more we strike enemies, the more that's going to get increased. And you will also get a little icon as well on bottom left, which you can see from Rain here on the little icon. Her eyes are glowing red. And if they don't glow red, you don't have blood rage. You do not have that ability. It basically causes all of your attacks to just go tenfold. And guess what? In this game, damage is tied to frame rate. And guess who has their frame rate unlimited right now? So it's just one of those beautiful little things as well. So we do a little thing here where we just kind of lure the enemy here so that we have a dry patch to work with, and then, like butter, melt it straight through.
Oh my gosh, wow.
And this is where it also begins here. Yeah.
Okay, so for getting out of the wall here, well, okay, first of all, so when we were doing the escort quest, that was 4 levels ahead of where you started the game.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so I was like, there's no way there's an escort quest at first, and then I remembered that that you had just ran over to another part of the game, which is wild.
Yeah, because even one of our companions as well, we don't even see her in the entirety of the run.
Oh, wow, oh my gosh. So the game just happened to be able to load that in for you?
Yeah, pretty much. It's just, it has to kind of continue with what it can.
Gotcha. All right, okay. Explain what's going on here.
So here, we can see that on the bottom right here, we have a little arrow that is kind of telling us where our objective is, but in there as well, we see little abilities. These are tied on PC, you can use controller as well, but 1 is normal vision, 2 would be later on down the road, but 3 does this. It's like a heat-seeking kind of ability. We're not going to be using that really, except for when we're feeling kind of lost. It also tells you where objectives are, but also 4, which is really important, and that's your matrix vision. Everything slows down. And that is how we're able to go from, oh, this is just a corner, to, oh, it doesn't exist anymore. So
awesome.
We will be going in and out of that quite a bit. And one also further thing that I do need to mention is some things are kind of time sensitive. So when we're trying to get certain skips or certain quick kills, you have to skip the cutscenes as soon as possible. One of them is actually right up here and through a door. You'll hear some guy just tell a story about his father. You want to skip that immediately to do this, which is a quick kill. And even though he should know that you're there, and he does, for whatever reason, the AI says, oh no, he doesn't know where Rain is, and so therefore, it doesn't matter. And so, as you can see, just Sarah did the same glitch again. And we just go over here. Because all of the rooms are so interconnected really closely, we're able to just swing in and out of them, and it's just smooth as butter for the most part. And you can shoot these, but these ones, you have to slash. And again, this is going to be a really quick level because we go through here.
You keep going in and out of the matrix vision to go through the corners.
Yeah, in order to actually go through corners, you need to have frame rate unlimited, use legacy cut, and turn on your matrix vision.
Okay, so you have to have all 3 of those things in place in order for this to work. Okay,
exactly.
Cool. That is good to know.
And this is one of those little things where it's like, it doesn't really look like a corner. Well, it kind of does, like right here.
Yeah,
but
I see it.
you're able to go through, and then just through here, And thankfully, being able to use slow-mo vision, you can kind of balance yourself properly. So if you're ever kind of feeling, things are, maybe not as solid, a foundation as I'd like to land on, you can just keep it on. It's fine. Because it's not going to affect the result of the actual glitch you're trying to perform. It's just going to make it slower. That's really it.
Gotcha.
And doors are kind of slow, so I do this. And as mentioned, some of the areas are just kind of intertwined. This one's kind of a little bit more tricky, though. There's a cutscene that you can trigger very easily here. And thankfully, things like steel beams and whatnot, they remain solid, even if you're in your matrix vision. So we're able to do stuff like this, go across. And this over here is what you want to avoid, because that's unfortunately where the trigger is. But where's the end of the level? Right next to it. So that's why it's a little dangerous. And this one's going to be a bit more trickier, because we kind of need to do a 180 like that as we are going up and through here, because we also want to avoid a cutscene here too. So I'll do it like really slow. We'll do something like this. So instead of just a 360, excuse me. So we go through, and this is exactly what you want to avoid here. But we can just go through here, back out, and we can get rid of this pesky guy. These guys also provide way more health than a general human would. But
that's annoying.
That's also our rage mode. So I'm just going to quickly get that back, and we are going to go ahead and do this. If we can just get that a little better. There we go. Okay, so we're on top of the entirety of the level right now. So we're going to be skipping basically the entire thing once more, and we're able to go over here. And you want to go back into this little vent-looking area. And usually this is full to the brim with extra enemies and stuff, but we're just able to kind of skip it, as well as a whole section where you have to kind of blow up things and stuff. And as you can see, just melting through little areas like here. This area is actually very important. You want to do a half jump here, because just like you see where you're able to land on top of the actual level, it's very easy to do that here, and you soft lock yourself.
Oh, okay. So you can't get back down after
that. So you'd have to restart the level, but if it ever does happen, there is a restart level here. Just in case things really do go south. So go in, half jump, go back out into your normal vision, and then you do that. Okay, cool. And one thing about the game is that for whatever reason, it likes to change what weapons you're using. For whatever reason. Sometimes you'll be using lightest guns, and the game just changes it to heavy guns. So for there, you want to be using heavy guns, but the game changes it for you half the time, so I don't really bother. Again, this whole area, usually infested with different like demonic creatures and stuff, but we're gonna say nah. This area, as soon as you go out of this cutscene as well, you want to go left and jump over here. This guy is Commando. He will blind you with the flashing light, but I don't really feel like fighting him, so I'm just going to go through here again and use that lovely little thing we've been using this entire time, which is phasing through corners. And this next level, I cannot stress this enough. As soon as you exit, you hit escape twice, which is just, it skips cutscenes as well as this. If you time it right, you don't even see it. This screen right here. You need to go into slow-mo mode, and I'll show you why.
Okay.
And this is the Countess. She is essentially the counterpart to Rain. She's very aggressive, and she will do that to you. Basically, ruin your day for as much time as she can. So what we do is we can go around or through, but we want to go over here, because essentially this is the goal, and you want to line up here. And do a leap of faith off here. Don't let go of up or jump, and you will land straight in that vent, because that is the trigger point for ending the level. That's the scariest level.
Awesome.
It's the scariest level because one wrong move and she will probably end the run. But with practice, it kind of makes things really, really simple, thankfully. Usually this area here is also not filled with water, but that's the end of the level. We skipped it all over again.
Oh my goodness.
This is a really weird corner. Sometimes you can go melt through it like butter, but sometimes there's the occasion where you actually don't. You kind of have to kind of nudge Rain through instead. So instead you have to do this kind of into the wall rather than just doing that.
Saw that. Yeah.
And it's not always, it's a really strange thing. It doesn't always happen in a run, but sometimes it will. And if it happens, you can just manage it from there. With using the out of bounds tricks here, it's going to be a little bit different because we are going to have to scale the area outside of the level, but it's on, it's in the level still, but, just in an out of bounds section that you're able to run on. And you kind of have to be careful that you don't get pushed too out of bounds or back in bounds. And it's right here. So you kind of want to avoid the guy who's kind of hiding in the toilet, pretty much. And you want to work with this area. This area will push you in and out of bounds very aggressively. So doing stuff like this, just jumping consistently and just doing the slash, which is this, and the twirl, like that, you can usually bypass that pretty easily, those issues. And
if you went too far out of bounds there, would you fall into a pit, or is there...
You will fall out of the world, and eventually there is a part of that world which is just filled with water, and you die. So you just have to kind of get that and go, or you just have to go ahead and just start off right off the bat.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to take this really safe. There is a YOLO strat that goes in through there, and it involves falling and hitting, shooting with a really fast pistol like this, which we have right now. And it involves hitting a very precise little thing like that we just slashed. But it's so precise that it can be really easy to screw up because we gotta hit it here. As soon as anything hits those little markers, you pass a level.
Oh, wow, okay.
I will be kind of showing that in not too long. So there's a thing over here. You can get a quick kill on this guy.
Whoa.
But he will absolutely shoot that rocket. There will also be a lot of flying demons. But the thing with the rocket is he will shoot you non-stop with that until all the ammo's just used up. However, I just learned while practicing before this run, if he uses up all of the ammo, you can still pick it up and it's replenished. It works exactly as it does in the last level. So that's fun to know.
Awesome.
This is going to be a really more out of bounds area, and I'm going to be using this as well. So you kind of want to get up into this section here. It's a corner, trust me. And we're going to go straight through it like that. So we've skipped about half the level already, and we just started. We're going to ignore all the creatures that are trying to kill us right now and go right up here. When you see this creature, you know you're on the right level. And you want to start from the center of this little thing here and work over here and do a little jump out of bounds here to land here. So you're just essentially skipping a level. And this is the area here you can keep in that slow-mo like this, or you can do what I'm doing, which is being a little more risky, and jump over here. And in view here on the top right, you can kind of coming in and out of view. You want to aim for that little section here that is smaller because it's a little tunnel with this rocket launcher. You want to make sure you're not too inside here either, because you can accidentally blow yourself up, but you just shoot.
Okay.
And that's it. So that is the trigger for the end of the level. Once anything hits it, we're gold.
Awesome.
And again, we don't really have to worry too much about needing out of bounds tech here because it is honestly a really short level. We're just getting that extra ability that I mentioned earlier, just not having, and that is probably, there's probably only one level that I use it in, actually, now that I think of it, which is the very last section in the game, which is the jewel boss.
Okay.
And with the jewel boss and legacy cut, also sound warning 3, 2, 1. That's the only
yeah.
sound that's going to be that loud in the entirety of the game. They didn't fix it in terminal cut either for some reason. I think it may have just been a lapse of on their priorities. They just didn't bother for some reason. But yeah,
Weird.
that little eye thing, I can show it here really quick, just in this explosion. That is indeed an explosion. So that's the little eye ability that we have. We can zoom in and back out with it. And there's only that one application really for it, which is at the very end of the actual game.
Huh.
I will be doing a different kind of out-of-bounds trick here, and it involves this here. You kind of just want to do this, which is kind of... As I was mentioning earlier, some little corners you can't really just go through. I mean, you can try, then you probably will make it eventually, but it's easier to do this. So you nudge so that you can kind of push Rain through certain little corners that are a little bit more finicky. And what I did there was skip the entire level and the boss. Multiple bosses we just do not bother with whatsoever. It kind of changes here a little bit though, with use of out-of-bounds tech. We do in one area have to take care of a few targets, but for the most part, you know, there's a gate here. I think we are done here, right?
If there's a gate, you can just go through. You mean there's no gate there?
There's no gate there. No. What gate?
Actually, no gate.
And again, just over here, we do have to take care of a few targets, and there's a different kind of vampire, these things.
Oh.
They look like wolves, but they're not wolves. We're just gonna pretend, you know, they don't look like wolves at all. And this is another thing here, where we're just gonna be going through very select corners to get to targets and just kind of get closer to the end of things. And it's just basically kind of dropping the enemy guard, kind of draining them dry of their blood, just so that, you know, it's a quick kill, because otherwise you're going to be spending a little more time. This little corner is a little bit different, because we actually have to fall down a level here. I'll just do it like this so that you can see.
Oh, okay.
And nothing is happening here currently, because we've skipped a trigger, which is these boxes right here, and going through.
Okay.
Because there is one more target in here.
You should go back and then back through the boxes to like activate the trigger or the target.
Yeah, you kind of have to make a trigger happen just so you can actually access the target. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Gotcha.
so it's going to seem a little weird, but there is a mech section in this game. It's completely different from everything else in the game, pretty much. And we're coming up right up to it. And the upcoming section, I just need to say, I went through the Xbox prototype. I went through the prototypes for the game, and the issue with this was never resolved. There is a core which can be reached with the machine gun here. And you won't see it at first, but you can basically take down enemies way quicker, like way more than you should be able to. And it was never taken out of prototype because they just forgot, or they didn't think people were going to do it. They didn't expect people like me would abuse it in that way. And again, we have to pass certain triggers in order to get by the others into the other section, and we don't have any out-of-bounds sections in this level. We simply do just have to take care of the targets. But after taking down these guys, there will be another one, the last target. And on that target, thankfully, there will be a life bar, so I can kind of show you just how much their health just kind of drains away. And we're getting through this pretty quick. Thankfully, it's just this guy loves to be not very nice because he goes in circles. And you will kind of see.
Like, won't.
Okay, we got very lucky there, actually. And if you're ever too close here, what I like to do to save a few seconds is just, you can do this. Just walk through it. So you don't have to walk around it. It's very janky, this game, which is why I love it. And this is the guy. So we're going to be taking a little look at how much his life is going to... I accidentally walked on a I see what I did there. I walked on... It doesn't matter because we're still able to just absolutely destroy his health. If you accidentally walk onto... You see the sides of the pillars there? You can cause rain to go upwards in the machine, and you're not going to be able to hit him as well as you'd like, but you don't really need to worry because the health just goes through, melts like that. It usually takes about 50% longer without that little trick.
Okay. So that saves quite a bit of time.
Oh yeah, definitely. You're saving a good chunk of time just by doing that. And for whatever reason, Rain doesn't like getting out of the machine here. We have to go to a very specific point, and that is at the podium up here. And that's when Rain will say, yeah, sorry?
Rain has to feel safe to get out.
Rain has to go here. She has to go here. I don't know, but it's also a case of exiting the little cutscene here very quickly, because the game, as I said, is very jank. If you decide that you're going to leave it a little longer, she will be in behind that podium. Whereas if you just skip it immediately, she'll be kind of spawning in front of it. Because in many areas, when you are just kind of coming into levels, if you skip the cutscenes immediately, you'll see Rain just kind of hop like that. She'll just kind of land like that. And that's kind of when you know, okay, I'm a little too quick. And remember corners not looking like corners? That's one of them.
What?
And that's the end of the level. We don't even see our mentor, who we are meant to see there from the beginning of the game. I said she just doesn't come up whatsoever.
The friend you were talking about earlier?
Yeah, the exact same one. And speaking of very specific corners, this is also one of them. You're going to do a half jump through here, and one of these, a twirl, to get through. And we're going to be going ahead and using... Oh, wow. That was very helpful, actually. I got a little bit of a launch there. There is a guy in this castle area that you kind of just want to drain. You can sneak up behind him so that you don't need to worry about kind of attacking him or anything. Because if he gets alerted to Rain's presence, you... Okay, so you wind up skipping so much of the level that because of that, you're unable to slash him. With your... Like, you're not able to use melee against him. You can only shoot. I don't know why.
So strange. Okay.
So if you don't have guns, you're kind of screwed. And you need to restart the level. But Rain always seems to have guns on her, honestly. So you'll never really find yourself in that kind of predicament. And that will be the end of this level, where I just have to kind of go across here. Sometimes there will be enemies that are alerted to Rain's presence there. They might fall off the cliff because they don't... Oh yeah, there's no... there was no end to the level there. They didn't program it, so you just see an empty void.
So weird. That's so weird.
It is really weird.
Seems like it's good for the speedrun that, like, basically anything that looks like a ledge tends to have collisions. You can just be
absolutely
like, stand on this. Like,
it's pretty much that way. Like, if it looks like a ledge, you can probably go through and just, like, as a test. I'm just trying to avoid this really jank vampire right now, because we gotta go through here. The whole point of this mission is to go ahead and just find something to explode this wall. Sometimes it can happen, it's fine. We just have to ascend the staircase again. Because we go through here, and this skip is a little interesting. You can play it really, really risky and jump from here all the way over here towards this windmill. But if you do it from this height, you risk spawning into the next level dead. Because Rain will accidentally hit a level down here, where, as mentioned before, you hit the bottom of a level and it accidentally counts as you just dying because you hit bedrock, essentially. So I jump from up here, because the last of this level tells you from all the way up here. I didn't even know you could do that. Today I learned. You don't have to go to the windmill. You don't have to go to the windmill.
That's awesome.
I have found a way to save us more time.
Like, you're welcome?
Awesome. And again, we're just going to have to do this legit.
Come on.
Hedrox, if you slash away at him, it will just multiply him. And there's water at the very base of this windmill, so you just want him to wind up in there, and you don't want to cause any slash, like you don't want to injure him because he will just, there will be more of him. But yeah, this is the landmine section, and this is when we will be using the last of this if we have no ammo. We have another area, which is right in behind here. If you have no rocket launcher whatsoever, you just use it up. In behind there, there is a spare, just for this level in particular.
Okay.
Because you got to get ready for a team of 3 soldiers over there, jump and aim at them, and it's kind of gory, so you can kind of make out that we've definitely taken care of them. And I'm gonna leave that guy alive because I'm feeling like living life on the edge right now. He can actually hit you with the rocket launcher too, and it can cause an insta-kill. But thankfully...
No.
Yeah, I know.
But you just
thankfully we can jump over it though.
Okay. Good.
And there is one thing to keep in mind after this cutscene. The second light over here, keep an eye out for it, get really close to here, and, jump a bit sooner than that, because unfortunately, yeah, you can actually just fall to your death. And this guy is perfect, because not only is it a target, I need blood. And there we go.
Yeah, it'll heal you.
So, we're kind of through most of the game right now. I'm gonna say that we're about like 3 missions away from the final boss.
Oh, wow.
This is going to be a little skip here, actually. And that is going through here. Because you're supposed to go in this like ring around like section, but we can just do that. And fight these guys. And use Blood Rage here. It slows down time. It buffs up all of your attacks. And you want to kill one of these guys. That was a really exceptionally quick kill.
Yes. And like you said, you have the unlimited frame rate, so you're going to be extra strong, right?
Exactly. So you're adding more of a buff to your already buffed weapons. Okay, that's the only time that we see our mentor. Excuse me.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Hello and goodbye.
So this is the last level here. And we have all the blood that like rage that we need, because we are definitely going to need it. And remember that vision that I mentioned? This is when we will be using it.
Yeah.
So we're going to get him right behind him and use all the weapons that I have. But in Legacy, this is super sensitive. This whole camera is really, really sensitive. And you got to be careful that you don't just go whoop all the way to one side instead of just actually trying to aim at your target. They fix it in the updated version though, in Terminal Cut. But this is the 2 individuals that I meant. And for whatever reason, they glitched out there, which is very helpful to me, quite frankly. I'm going to try and take care of this guy first, because he's on a time limit. He will start growing to the point where he will just explode through the building and you lose the game. So it's really good to get rid of him first. And almost. His only weak point is the heart.
There we go.
And the bigger that he gets, the stronger he also becomes. But as soon as this next guy goes down, that is time, and it is the end of the run.
Oh, wow.
There's one thing, though, that I have to mention as well. On the bridge, as well as this guy, you need to make sure nobody goes out of bounds, and you also need to make sure that this guy does not run upstairs. Not only do you waste time, you also risk them going out of bounds themselves. And if NPCs go out of bounds, they become invincible. You cannot kill them. So you have to restart the level. But it'll be okay. So here we go. Into Blood Rage. And we get that little cutscene. And then time. That's it. That's the entirety of the run.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was solid. That was really solid. Dude, you like blazed through that. I was like, we were able to stop and smell the roses, but it's just like, you just, like you're saying, it's so funny. You're just like, oh, it just melt like butter. Like, seriously, like through everything. That's so funny.
Yeah. Essentially, a game that is probably at shortest doing it glitchless, maybe 2.5, 3 hours. You reduce it to about 20 odd minutes. It's really, it's really something.
That's wild. Is there anything else within the game that you would want to show off, like on the side, or like a random level with anything, or is that you kind of see what there is to see?
I don't have the cheats on hand, but there's a bunch of levels that are still in the files, which just didn't make the cut. There's also some other cheats like showing your weapons and stuff and that kind of jazz.
If you have access to any of that, you're welcome to show it off real quick if you want, since we do have time. But that's all up to you.
How much time do we have?
You can take, I mean, you got like 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. You are early, I told you.
Thank you.
Whatever you might want to show, it's like, it's up to you.
Let me see. I think it's Brimstone on the Bayou for one of the levels, which I can maybe show.
Okay.
There's a bunch of random, like on PS2, this would be way different. You have a list of things to choose from, but with PC, you got to type them in manually.
Mm-hmm.
And
Gotcha.
so I'm going to put in Brimstone. I think it is in the Bayou. But you also get little, there we go, secret level. But there's also little notes that are left. It's like try harder. And if you really want to just, you know, do stuff like that, active, 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 and it's like, oh, I think it's 4 times. It'll say like, no, really try harder. That's essentially it. There is like a bunch of just random stuff. Yeah, like, no, really try harder. There is, let's see. To actually access the levels, it does actually require a little bit of cherry rigging, I think.
Okay.
Because I remember going through the files like for something in particular, and my goodness, actually, that's going to take a little bit because I can't actually remember. It's been a little while. I'll try and quickly check. But if I can't find it, I'll let you know. Just that, you know, it's probably better if I don't try and find this.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, it's up to you. I just wanted to give you the space to do that before we, like, shout out, you know.
Oh, yeah, no. Thank you very much for this opportunity, because it is genuinely a really fun game to run. I cannot stress that enough. Once you have it set up, there's no need to really work on anything ever again. You just boot it up and it's all a go. And you can just...
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's really good. I think...
Okay.
Oh, wait. There is the level select, which I also need to do. That is part of it.
Okay.
And that's on the level. And I think it is hold shift while clicking new on... Because it's different depending on what you're actually trying to work with. If it's PS2 or not. So shift new. There we go. All right, there's all the different levels in the game. Some of them were not used at all, which was really, really strange. And let me see. I think it is... Because some of them are also just empty areas. It's really strange. Like, there's meant to be a boss fight, and it's just not there.
I'm like, show me your favorite. This is cool.
There is 2 in Argentina. I think it might be Temple 5. No, it isn't. God dang it. Let me just quit that. But there's just kind of like, it's all just going up straight in this kind of like this tree, I suppose it is. It's just like a weird tree that is alive and completely evil. I think it's this one actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just one of these, like these things are called Daymites. They came from the Nocturne game, which is from Terminal Reality as well. The same crowd who also made Blair Witch Burst Empire, which is one of 4 entries to the game, to a series, like, you know, for the movie, naturally.
Right, of course.
But they were in that, and they took that design and put them into BloodRayne as well. BloodRayne was also based off of a different character in Nocturne 2, who is a vampire as well, half vampire, half human, called Svetlana.
Okay.
Which is, it's kind of nice though, because they did revamp, no pun intended, her actual looks, her her features and whatnot. Her outfit did originally begin like Svetlana's, but it's not anymore. But this is one of the levels,
right.
and it didn't make the cut, and I think I know why. And it's literally just because you were going straight up a tree, and that's it.
Yeah, so if you fell,
there is another level as well, and there's just like really ominous lights for no reason.
What?
But all this whole entire area, this whole structure, this alien one is just very much. It is just a living tree. You cannot get in here, and I don't really know what's actually behind it either. But the exit is straight up again, like just way, way, way up.
Gotcha.
And I guess it's just kind of nice, I suppose, that you're able to access this kind of stuff, because there's also the whole plans for this game as well. What happened in BloodRayne 2 with little abilities and stuff, those were meant to be in BloodRayne 1.
Interesting.
Yeah, Joe Ning Wampole, one of the main devs, he actually has it on his website, all of these documents relating to the game. Like all the stuff that was meant to be included, things about the engine that was used, and you can really download it for your own perusal, which I think is really cool. And that's
great.
That's just a level.
That's awesome. Okay, it's cool to like see. I love seeing unused assets for games, actually. I just think it's really interesting to see some of the designs that they had that they didn't want to put in the finished game. Like whether it's because they didn't actually give themselves enough time, or because like they, I don't know, for one reason or another. So I really enjoyed it, like seeing that kind of thing. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Cool. You're giving us a little extra view into the game. I was like, we have some time. Why don't we just like check it out? It's not quite a glitch, but it's still like things that didn't make it, or like extra things you all can see. So
yeah, exactly. So, thank you for giving me the opportunity to show off something like, it's not much, but it's nice to kind of go through it sometimes.
Right. Yeah, no, this was really, really cool. So thank you so much, Vin, for coming on and showing off BloodRayne. Please let us know what you're doing, where we can find you. Like, plug yourself. This is your time. Like, tell us what's going on.
Thank you. So I stream over at twitch.tv/Vinada. I do a lot of BloodRayne in general because it's just a fun game to run a lot of the time. So that is what I do alongside other stuff like Devil May Cry, stuff like that, Faith, and whatnot. I am on YouTube on the same alias, the same with Instagram, though I never use it. And generally stuff like that, but also a big shout out to the BloodRayne speedrunning community. It's very tiny, but there's been a lot of work that has just been pumped into this to try and find everything that we have currently. So again, without that, I wouldn't be able to add on to it again, even just tonight, even though it's very small. So big shout outs and thanks to them as well. And if you are also interested in running this, I will be more than happy to help you out because I think that more people should be running this game. And so with that being said, thank you very much for having me. I really do appreciate it.
Awesome. Yeah, of course. No, this is a cool game. And it seems like it is honestly really accessible as a speed game. So seriously, if those of you who are watching today are like, I've been meaning to pick up a new game, like, here you go. And I feel like a lot of people in this community, especially like the indie horror community as well, are also in like the same mindset of like, hey, we want to help. We want to like encourage more people to join and to be a part of our game, our community. It's cool. So yeah, thank you so much again, Vin. Please go follow Vin, check him out, say hello in the streams, and feel free to go in there, ask more about BloodRayne, etc. Yeah, and thank you so much. Next up, we have Bird650, who a lot of you may know, coming up to do some Choo-Choo Charles, which will be really fun. But yeah, thank you again, Vin, and we're gonna take a short break and bring on Bird, and we will be back with you all in just a few minutes. Ooh, I also would like to mention really quick before we have our break time, because it's always fun, to keep in mind that registration is live for GDQ 2024. That is happening in mid-January, so you can go to gamesdonequick.com, get registered. I think hotel booking is up as well, so check out the schedule, register, come join us. It's so much fun. Like legitimately, it's like one of my favorite times of the year, period. So yeah, and if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to watch this live. Okay, we'll be right back. All right, everyone, we are back with more Out of Bounds. Hi, I'm Kungfufruitcup. In case you're just joining us, this is a show all about breaking down the glitches and glitch-heavy speedruns. So it's like a glitch showcase style show. It's awesome. And we have been doing some indie horror speed games. It's been super fun. This is like our round 2 of having some people from the indie horror community chilling and showing off their games. So now we have Bird650 coming in to show off some Choo-Choo Charles. What's up, Bird?
How's it going, Fu?
Hi.
How are you doing tonight?
Hello, I'm good.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. So, all right. You have some Charles to show us now. If anybody watched this past GDQ, Bird was speedrunning Charles on the main stage, and I was hosting for that, and it was really fun. So, yeah, feel free to, I don't know, ask questions as we go along. Spam the intro of the game. Have fun with this one.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Also, anytime you all can think of a fun title for what you would call this video when this goes on YouTube, let me know. I like taking them into consideration. Anyway, all right, Bird. So I'm going to let you count us in. Tell us kind of what's going to come up in this game, what's happening, and then start with the glitch fun.
Sure.
Cool.
We're going to start off right away with a trick. So I guess I'll count us in, and then I'll talk about what is going to go on, and then do the things. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I guess we'll start the timer in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So Choo-Choo Charles, great game about a spider train that hunts you down. I'll talk about what we have to do in the game. But first off, we're going to be getting an intro cutscene, which is the best in gaming history. I think you can agree with that.
Yes.
So we're going to listen to that and just acknowledge how good it is. But right away, we're going to get a trick where we do some sort of menu manipulation to kind of sequence break the game a little bit and activate a glitch that will cause the train to move on its own. It's all this crazy stuff that we're going to get into, and I'll break it down step by step. But we'll listen to the intro, and then I'll talk about what goes on with the game. So we're going to start a new game here, and the run obviously starts here. And here's the greatest intro that we've ever seen. We're going to skip that part. This is the main part that we want to hear.
I can hear it.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Not your fault.
They call him Charles. Half train, half giga spider from hell. We've been planning his demise for some time now and have nearly everything in order. Just a few people to meet and places to see. Simple errands, you know. Yes, sir.
Welcome to Aaron Nero.
The island.
They were miners go to dig dirt.
Stay close.
It's so good. Okay, so basically this door that you see right here is going to be locked, and we need to talk to Eugene, who is the character there, to unlock the door and go through to the next side. But what we're going to do is we're going to make a clone of Eugene, and also basically reload the game. There's a barn up ahead on that side that has a train that we're going to be using to get around the island to get objectives. And I'll talk about those objectives in a second. But we're going to go towards that barn over there. And usually you have to grab a key at another house, open up the barn, and then do a little tutorial section, and then you're good to go. We're going to say no to all that by doing a cool menu trick here where if you pause the game and then you click on the settings menu while escaping the menu at the same time, you all of a sudden have the game open. Like it is playable like this with this open. And we're going to go to the continue section to force a reload of the game while talking to Eugene, which is going to unlock this door and kind of mess with the game a bit. So it looks like this. So that door just unlocked. The game is like, what the heck just happened? We're going to reload the game. Now all of a sudden the door is open. Here's Eugene, athletic as all can be. And you might think, okay, well, nothing really happened, right? Nothing changed here. You're playing the game normally. But if you look up ahead, this door is supposed to be locked. There's supposed to be a big door that a train is supposed to break through. It's just open now. Usually, you go to that shed over there and grab a key, and then you come back to Eugene right there, looking as great as ever, and you give him the key to unlock this door to get in here. We're not going to do that. And that's used for another glitch coming up, which is one of the harder glitches to do in the run. I might have to do it a couple times, we'll see. But this is like a tutorial section on how to use the train. There's Eugene, all of a sudden. He's right there. But here's also Eugene, right there. So we have 2 Eugenes right now. We need that second Eugene for something crazy. This is probably the craziest trick that is in the game, as far as I am concerned. And this was found by a bunch of people in the community, especially Foxy Dits, who did a lot of research and testing on things. But basically, what we're going to do is, if you see when I hover over something, it's flashing as if I can use it. Right? So this is an upgrade menu. This brings up this menu right here. We're going to be using this menu. And then while the menu is up, we're going to be using this gun to glitch the menu onto the screen. And then we're going to be hopping off the train with the menu still on the screen, navigating to the other Eugene there, the real Eugene. This is fake Eugene. We're going to go to real Eugene and talk to him. And it's going to cause Charles' AI to break completely. He won't be moving. And if I do it right, you'll be able to see it properly. If not, we'll just restart the file real quick. It's pretty short.
Okay, cool.
So we'll go ahead and do that. If I line myself up here, we're going to be leaning over and then using this afterwards. So I need to talk to Eugene here.
Are you ready?
The other thing I should mention is there's a ghost train glitch, which allows us to move the train while we're not on it. Usually if you step off the train, it no longer moves. But if we do this certain glitch at a certain timing, I'll go ahead and explain how it looks here. Let me focus real quick. So I use this, I go over this way, and then hopefully that worked. It did work.
Okay.
So now if I walk over to here,
The other Eugene.
talk to Eugene, you got to pause the game here. You actually have to pause the game. And what I'm going to do is when I unpause, I'm going to open the map, close the map. It should break Charles' AI.
And I see
The other, I'm sorry, go ahead.
like 2 lines of dialogue over each other right now.
Yes. So we have some sort of text storage going on right now. At the same time, I did a glitch where if you open the map, the same frame that you walk off the train and close the map, the train thinks that you're still on it.
Yeah.
So it's going to continue to move throughout the map. So if we hit continue here, and then I spam map, now Charles's AI is just broken. And you'll see the train is just moving.
There he is.
Yep.
And your train's just going.
So train's just going to where we want to go. And here's Charles.
Charles, he's
just
hanging out.
broken. Yep. Aw shucks, it's locked, says Eugene.
He's taking a nap.
Taking a little nappy.
A little nap.
While that is going on, the main thing we're going to be doing in this run is we're going to be positioning that train at certain points. Now, obviously, my timing is going to be a little bit off because I'm taking time to explain everything going on because this first beginning section is ridiculous.
But basically,
then
the
it's gonna
train
kind of settle down.
So what? The train goes on a big loop around the island, and because you were glitched the train to keep on moving, you're going to try to make it stop in certain points or where you.
Certain points, yeah.
And,
now, it's not going to be exactly where I want it to go this time around, but it'll be in a general area, and for this kind of a showcase, it's fine.
Yeah. Of course.
So basically, I'm going to advance the tech or the text here. Once the text is done, Charles has been activated, so he's going to go ahead and hunt down that train now. So what is going to happen is I'm going to advance to where I need to go. I'm a little bit off track here, but that's okay. And if you look at the bottom right corner, you're going to see a train health bar and my health bar. You can tell by the train in the heart.
Okay.
So you're going to notice that train health bar is going to slowly start coming down. And that's because Charles has caught up to fake Eugene. Don't worry about this guy. We'll talk about them in a bit. But you're going to see that bar. It should be hidden anytime soon here. There it is. You see how it's starting to lower? Charles is currently attacking the train.
Okay.
And at a certain point, you'll know when he's killed him because that happens. And we're going to reload the game because it's a little faster to just do that. We do like in-game timing.
Gotcha.
So now fake Eugene is dead. He's gone.
Oh.
I know, it's really sad. But real Eugene's fine. It's okay.
I fake Eugene.
The train is now stopped in one of the areas that we are going to be going to next, and we're going to be using a lot of death warps to get there. So what we're going to be doing now is the main objectives of the game, which is we're going to get 3 keys to go into 3 different mine shafts. And then we're going to get some eggs inside these mine shafts. And then on top of that, we'll get a couple more side objectives, and then hopefully use those eggs to summon Charles.
Okay.
And then at that point, we do a final fight.
Right.
So the idea is to move the train around and then do some things in this area of the map and then die. And then you warp to your train that way, you death warp, and then you do some things in that area, do another ghost train glitch, and go from there. We are currently doing some quests. I'll pause here for a second because a lot's happened. We're currently doing some quests for scrap. Scrap is used to upgrade your train. You need some certain upgrades throughout to do the run properly. We did a quick quest along the way there, and we're currently doing one. It's a Slender Man quest, but if you get touched by a Slender Man coming up here, he will warp you in a random direction, and this is kind of an RNG portion of the run because we want him to warp us forward, just faster that way.
Okay.
And he did that. That was perfect. So he warped us over like this whole area that he kind of resides. He can warp you backwards, which sucks. He can warp you side to side, which is But the forward one we just got right now was great.
Was that RNG then in that case?
It's completely RNG, yes.
Oh, okay. So you got lucky.
Okay, I got really lucky there. All the practice I did before were all terrible, so thank God that was nice. So we're grabbing scrap. This is all scrap right here, and we're going to be using this to upgrade our train.
And heal it as well, right?
Yes, it will be used for healing and upgrades at a certain point once we're done with all the upgrades. We're doing a quick side quest here. There's a couple different guns you can get in this game for Charles, to fight Charles. But we're going to go with the rocket launcher because it does the most damage and is the quickest. And this is the area where you would get the rocket launcher. So what we're going to do, again, I'm used to this for in-game timing. You would place a TNT, restart your game, load the file, and then all of a sudden, the door no longer exists.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so you just kind of walk right through. It's totally fine. Now, this is a section coming up here that is going to involve managing your health, keeping it at a very low amount because you want to obviously die.
You'll warp back, yeah.
Yeah, so basically, I'm going to do this section here and try to manage a low health. So if you keep an eye on the health, hopefully it's not too low, but we'll see. Okay, so we have very low health right now. We've grabbed our objective. We're going to try to manage this low health as we continue to work through the map here. So I take an intentional jump here to keep it low. And you got to be fast with this too because your health slowly regenerates over time.
Yeah, I see that.
So we've grabbed our objective. We are actively running through with our objective to obtain the rocket launcher. And then we're going to run through to that tower, talk to the AI up there to get a key for a mine shaft. We need 3 of those. And then jump off, and hopefully we will die right away after that.
Nice, okay.
If not, we have to climb up a little slow, but...
I can do it again.
Yeah, basically, you have to just take another jump. But if we do this, talk to him.
Weird.
If we're fast enough... And I hit that roof because I am bad.
That's okay.
But that's okay. There we go. That should kill right there. All right.
It'll save everything up until that point.
Exactly. So everything's saved. We're good to go. So now we're going to respawn a train. We lost 2 scrap there. You can lose anywhere from 1 to 3 every death.
Okay.
So we just did one area of the map. We got 1 key for one of the mine shafts. We're going to set up for the next area. So this train is a little bit further ahead than we want, but we figured that was going to happen. So here's your upgrade menu, and you have healing. We're going to want to upgrade to 6 speed regardless here.
Okay.
And then we'll do some damage and heals for now. We'll do 1 more damage throughout this run, and the rest will be used for heals, basically.
Nice.
So now, we'll do this. A little horn, it's great. Here's our rocket launcher. I'm going to slow this down so you guys can see the actual ghost train glitch coming up here. So, once again, this is going to be one of those tricks where I'm going to be opening up the map and then closing it right when I walk off this ledge right here.
To make the train keep going again.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So, if I start this, ideally, we do this. And that worked. See how it's still going?
Nice. Yes.
There he goes.
Nice. Bye.
So, the interesting thing about this state is that the game thinks that you're still on the train. And what does that mean, right? It means I cannot jump.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't realize
For some
that.
reason, if I'm mashing space right now, I cannot jump.
Interesting. Okay.
So, an interesting thing was discovered. I believe, I can't remember exactly if it was Foxy Dits or not. There's a lot of people that are working on it once this trick was found. But apparently, for some weird reason, when a gamer decides to touch water, they learn how to jump again.
Like, what?
Yes. I don't know why. It's something with the properties of the water. But it kind of resets you. And the train still thinks that you're on it, so it's still going to continue to move.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah, of course. It's just your typical things with the train.
So funny.
So the main ways to get the train to stop, we're going to talk to this AI, by the way, for another key.
Huh.
We're going to be... There's two different ways to stop a train. And it's going to be either you die and it stops, or you exit the game and reload.
Okay.
There are some scenarios where we're going to exit the game to specifically place it somewhere. And then there are some that are specifically mapped out. So that way I can die by the end of this route and the train should be in the general area of where I want it to be.
Okay, sweet. Awesome. We do have a question from chat, actually.
Oh, please do. Please do.
Wait, it was up a little bit. Do we ever get into why? I mean, it's more so about the lore. Do we ever get into why our characters on this island? Like, do we be Charles?
There is so much to talk about, like glitch-wise. We're now getting into the point of the game where we can kind of talk about that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, you're kind of on this island. This is the first mine chat, by the way, we're going to go through. And there's a couple of bad guys on here that, because we have the train glitch on right now, they're going to walk around and see us, but be confused and be asking, where are you? They literally go like, come out, wherever you are, when they're staring like right at you.
So
this
funny.
train glitch just breaks everything. It's so weird. But yes, you're basically, I think you own a museum. Again, people in chat can correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not an expert on the lore. But you do own a museum. Here's one of the eggs, by the way. And here's one of the bad guys. We're just going to step in front and you see how he kind of freaks out.
Yeah.
He just kind of doesn't know what to do. So we're free to go there. You own a museum and your buddy Eugene calls you up and says, hey, bud, listen, I heard you might be hurting for money or something like that. We got this big thing over here that if you want to hunt it down and put it in your museum, it's all yours and I'm sure you'll get a good pay from it. And it happens to be Charles, the spider train himself.
Huh.
So you're like, yeah, sure, I got you, bud, anytime. And you come over here and you find out that there's this whole like mining company or something led by this one dude that wants to like tame Charles and use him against people and stuff like that. And Eugene wants to like rescue people here. There's your intentional death, obviously, by the way, to go to the death warp.
Right.
But basically, you're here to like help save the people that are here and stuff like that. While you try to fight against this company of cultists or whatever else is here that are trying to use the eggs to fight with, I guess. So that's like the gist of it. There's a lot deeper lore, trust me, but that's just like your basic, this is why you're here. I'm going to use a quick momentum jump with the train.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't get the second hop there, but the first one's totally fine. We're going to talk to this guy. This is However guy.
We get some howevers.
If you have Bird However in chat, please go ahead and use Bird However. But he gets you your next key. So we're going to do another quest setup here coming up. It's going to involve Eugene's son, actually. He's in this building, and he wants to rig the bridge with explosives. So that way, when you fight Charles, you can finish him off with an explosive. So we're going to get to a certain spot here. We're going to get ready for another ghost train glitch. That might be a little too late, actually, I think. No, that worked.
Nice.
Bye-bye.
Oh, nice.
See ya.
Very good.
And again, I cannot jump. So there's an interesting little tricky thing we do in this section when we go to talk to Eugene's son here. We're going to open this door. Now, again, I can't jump over the ledge, but we found out that this little box here, if you kind of shove yourself, you pop up, and go right over.
Nice. Okay.
Which is interesting.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Now, this next trick is really interesting. I don't know exactly how it works. I don't know why it works, but it does somehow. We have to place 8 bombs on this bridge to hit every arch to blow them all up.
Okay.
The community has decided a while back that it was okay to use a third-party software with your mouse to remap your left click to the mouse wheel for scroll.
Okay.
For some reason, and I don't know what it is, if you are able to scroll your mouse wheel at the appropriate time, the appropriate speed, the game force places bombs onto this one platform here. So we're either going to get one bomb placed and it'll be like normal, or we'll get like all 8 placed and the objective done right away. So if it's done properly, boom. Notice how it says return to Paul to complete your mission. We just placed all 8 bombs in one go.
So easy.
Right there. Yeah, and we just go right by.
Love that.
Yes. And then we're going to go, as the train is still moving, we're going to continue and go into the next mine shaft and ideally get to a certain point, and then we're going to have to pause and quit and then rejoin the game to place the train at the right spot. And again, because we're taking a little bit of time to showcase some stuff, the train should be way further back than where it should be, but it's the difference of a few seconds. It's fine.
Gotcha.
So again, still can't jump. Nothing like that.
Still no jumping.
Yep.
Have to get around
no jumping,
stuff.
but
And there's no water nearby?
There's no water nearby, but we don't really need to be able to jump in this state currently, because we're just going to run around. And again, since we have the ghost train glitch going on, these cultists in here are just going to be going crazy. They don't really know. Yeah, they don't really know where you are, even though they're staring right at you. Maybe it's because they're wearing a gigantic mask. He just freaked out and ran away.
Oh, funny. Where are you,
There's
though?
your second egg. And we're going to restart this. So, ideally, the train's in a good spot.
Do you always run the train backwards? Is that a strat, or is it just like that?
That's just the way the route goes.
Cool.
You can run it forward if you want, but it's more optimal to go backwards.
Somebody asks, is he the son of Eugene and Eugene?
Yes, Eugene and Eugene had a baby Eugene.
Oh boy, I don't want to.
Yes.
Oh boy.
We'll see, chat. When a train conductor and a train conductor. Okay, that was a big shot. I think we're still good. Okay, so one thing to note is when you get an egg, you want to make sure you leave the mine, because you won't get a checkpoint. I now have left the mine, so it gave me the checkpoint.
And then you go back in.
Registered that I had the egg.
Okay.
So otherwise, the game is like, oh, he doesn't have the egg. You got to redo that whole section.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we now have 2 eggs out of 3. We have the bombs planted. We have the rockets. Our final mine here is going to be, let's go ahead and do one more damage here. I've got 24 scrap, so I might go out of my way to get some extra scrap just to make sure it's all smooth. But our final mine shaft is up ahead. We already have all the keys we need. And I'm going to take my sweet time here. We got another ghost train glitch going on here.
Nice.
So that's going to go towards the final area, which is over there. That's the final fight area. And we are going to exit fairly soon. Now, this is going to be a very hard trick coming up. I think it's the most inconsistent for me. I don't really use this during runs myself because I'm not great at it.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good bug. So the game thinks that we're on the map screen right now, so it's showing you a waypoint. That's not supposed to be there.
Oops.
So that's just a funny bug that can happen in the game. But we're going to exit the game there because that'll place the train in hopefully the right area. And we got one more mine shaft to go through here.
Sweet.
So this mine shaft is a little interesting because you got to do this without the ghost train glitch so you can actually get hurt by these guys in here.
So you need to let the train keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yes. So what's going to happen in this mine shaft up ahead here is we're going to get down to a certain section for the third egg. And we're going to take enough damage and then grab the third egg at the same frame that we take a shotgun blast to the face.
Okay. Ooh, okay.
That sounds weird, I know. But ideally, you die while grabbing the egg, and it saves time because the game thinks that you have the egg in your inventory, and you spawn back at the train. The slow way to do it would be to grab the egg and run out of the front of the mine and then die. But ideally, hopefully, we die at the same frame and get the egg. If it doesn't work, I can give it a couple more tries.
Sure.
It's not the end of the world. But ideally, it's the first try. And if you die afterwards, after grabbing the egg, the game forgets that you have the egg and it thinks you never had it. So you have to go all the way back, get the egg again, and try it. So we're going to try this. Grab some more scrap along the way because we can always use more scrap. All that fun stuff.
Shouldn't be here.
And we just got shot, but that's okay. That barely took damage. Oh, that's a little bit more damage. I think we'll be okay. So we're going to go over here. We're going to grab some scrap.
Okay.
These guys are yelling in my ear. He missed.
Oh, good. Okay. That's good, though, right? You don't want to... Oh.
Yep. There's also some lines in this game where they say you better hope you're fast, but it just sounds like he says, you better hope you're fat, and it's the best thing. So I'm going to tap this guy on the shoulder. He's going to shoot me once here because I have way too much health. All right. Now, this is the hard part. I'm going to see if I can grab this at the same exact time. There it is. Okay, so you see the top left corner right there?
That was so good.
That was the frame perfect, like you grabbed it at the same time you died. That symbol indicates you did it correctly. If you didn't do it correctly, that would not have popped up.
That was good.
So we got it.
Nice.
That is good. And we are, I mean, this is going a lot smoother than I thought it was going to go, honestly. I figured we were going to.
Super smooth. This is really good.
This is like way too smooth. This is a little too fast. So let me see what we got going. Okay, so we're close by. We've got 31 scrap. I'm gonna go out of my way just a little bit, just to get a little extra more. Just a little extra, just to be safe. One thing that you might notice as well, if you played this game looks a little bit brighter than usual. It looks a little like happier. And that is because we changed the setting around in game to like remove the like ambient fog and lighting and stuff, so you can actually see where you're going. Usually you can't even see that in front of you, but you know, we need to be able to see where we're going, where Charles is. Oh, I gotta make sure I don't die here. That's the scary part. So coming up next, let me go ahead and run around here real quick and get some health back, because one of the things is, since we have some extra time, I can do this. One of the things coming up here is a fight with Charles. It's the final fight. And if we die, again, we got to do that whole mine over again. So I'm going to run around for a second since we've got the time, get my health back up, because whatever health you go into the fight with is how much health you have for that fight. It'll slowly regenerate over time, but you don't want to start a fight with already low health.
Yeah.
But this is the final area here. We got guards on patrol. You bring your 3 eggs here. You open this, and then you summon Charles, and it's going to go into a fight sequence. What you're going to see during this fight sequence, because this is the very end of the game, but we can talk about it for a second here, is we've got a rocket launcher on our back that we're going to be using to attack Charles. It's going to do a lot of damage. It's going to do more damage if we hit him directly in the face. So any hit will work fine, but ideally we hit him right in the face. And then you're going to see me hop off the rocket launcher because it's going to reload the rockets every time. So it's going to be like I'm going to shoot my rocket, blow up Charles, hop off as it's reloading, and then I'm going to do a lean, because Q and E lean side to side.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to do a lean from that same position and go to the upgrade menu and heal.
Okay.
I'm going to heal. And then I'm going to go back. The rocket should have just been loaded by then, and I'm going to shoot Charles in the face again. Okay. And then I'm going to go back and heal. And it's just going to be back and forth like that. He's got like 4 phases, and it's RNG when he teleports to whatever area, because he kind of teleports throughout the fight. It's all RNG on where exactly he teleports. So hopefully he's kind during this fight. I don't know for sure. But yeah, we'll definitely see here. But yeah, this went a lot smoother than I thought it was going to go today. I was figuring we're going to hit a few of these like, oh, hey, bud. Okay.
Oh, well.
Hopefully that didn't screw up some of the fight stuff, but we can watch this cutscene here. This is, we're going to put our Easter eggs in the basket here and then go from there.
And get Charles out.
Yeah. On top of that, I see a question. Does anything happen if you enter the fight with the ghost train active? I don't believe so because the game is going to force spawn you onto the train.
Okay.
So I think the train just spawns back at the beginning.
Gotcha.
So here's the main bad guy of the game.
That is a bright suit.
I know.
I forgot about that.
We see all these different masks are just terrifying.
Yeah.
So he's like, yo, no, don't do that. And we said, no, I'm going to do it. So.
No! You fool!
You've doomed us all. All right.
There's Charles. He's now upset because we got his, we stole his little babies. And he now goes into this form called Hell Charles. Everyone's terrified now.
You know what? It's fine that we're watching the cuts. Oh, wow. That is why this is in this in this group of games we're doing
If you're
today.
looking for the scares, this would be it. Yeah.
Usually the game's gonna be. That's one of my favorite things about speedruns that are in like the scary game community and category, because like it's so not scary when you're speedrunning it. Because again, you like usually skip Charles. Charles will just freeze when the train's going, or you just know where to avoid him, etc. But this ending is pretty intense because he's coming. He is on his way.
Yeah, he doesn't stop for sure.
Yeah.
So you see how I do the little lean here to quickly heal up. I'm going to spam heal and then shoot in the face.
Yeah.
If Charles is too close when I shoot a rocket, it actually does damage to me. So not only is he doing slight chip damage to me, the rocket is also doing damage.
Right. This is pretty
so
like
I gotta be
vanilla.
careful.
You're just, yeah.
Yeah. So this is going pretty well so far. He's been kind. I've overspent a couple of scrap, but we grabbed so many extra.
Right.
And you see he's getting ready to teleport again. We'll probably do one more shot here.
Okay. Good, almost there.
Yep. Let's see, probably 2 more hits here. And that would be time on the actual run itself. On a normal 90% here. We can see the final cutscene here. And I've got one thing I could show afterwards as well. More like a little bonus thing that they hid in the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that was the main run of Choo-Choo Charles. It actually went incredibly well. Again, the egg part is something that I would say it's a coin flip on if I get it or not. But the first section went really well, and I'm happy with it, and I hope that I was able to explain each thing to like give people at least a grasp on what's going on.
Absolutely. I mean, that honestly, sometimes when runners come on and they know how to explain it, or I mean, I've seen it before, so I'm less like wow for a first time. But you did a good job, like I can't think of the right word for this right now. You did a great job explaining it to people, in my opinion.
Thanks, Foo.
So I think that it, so I didn't have a lot of like commentary to say back or like a lot of questions to ask on my end because everything seemed to make sense.
Yeah, that's totally fair. And this is the final cutscene here of the game. It's supposed to tease like, oh man, you got his 3 eggs that they were hiding out and stuff. Oh my goodness, you got everything. But actually, there's one more egg here. Mm-hmm. And Charles is, obviously he's been murdered, but this little egg is moving around. And you're like, oh man, there's a sequel coming with like a second train or something like that. Or, is his little child coming? And then the camera is slowly panning around, showing like, oh yeah, look at this egg. And then you have all of that.
Oh.
Those are all individual little Charles as well.
Oh. A few more than 3.
Yeah, just a little. I don't know. I don't know where that is, but
It'll be a fun sequel.
Yeah.
Just that one.
Yeah, but that was the main portion of the game. As for glitch heavy things, I don't think I have much more. I could show off one little thing that they hid in the game.
Yeah,
if
please
you want to
do.
see a quick little hidden thing.
Yeah.
We'll go a little more casual here. So the devs got some cool, fun stuff in the game itself. But the big one that I wanted to show is going to be to the north. Now I can't scroll out because I have my middle mouse mapped, but I think it is around this area right here.
Oh, in the water.
In the water, yes.
Okay.
So we're gonna go ahead and take the train back. It's gonna be a little bit weird to navigate because I can't zoom out the map, but I believe. I'm assuming we have like a few minutes that we're good with. So
You have plenty of time.
yeah. I want to talk as well while I'm finding this cool little hidden bonus thing that's thrown in the game about the indie speedrun community. They're fantastic indie horror runs. They got a great Discord going over there. Definitely check out all the good stuff if you're interested in checking out any of the games that if there's an indie horror game out there, it has a run for it and a how-to speed run for it. So, big shout outs to the whole community there. Choo-Choo Charles specifically, there's so many like runners that found stuff daily. Foxy Ditz did a lot of testing as well, so big shout outs there. I know First Try, I swear, did basically had a new world record every day, which is absolutely killing the game. So big shout outs to everybody in the Choo-Choo Charles community as well as just the indie horror speedrun community in general. It's a fantastic place to be. I'm primarily a Mario guy, but this was like the first horror game I tried speedrunning, and it was so fun. Everyone was super welcoming.
Yeah.
And if people are interested in scary games and stuff like that, like please check it out. Go to
Give it a shot.
speedrun.com. Check out a game that you like. Do all the fun stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, you're kind of taking some of my job away from me right now, but it's okay.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Fu. Please.
That's all right.
Please tell me.
No, and we'll do another shout out for the community at the end, like we did on the last episode. But yeah, absolutely, I agree. And this is something I always encourage when we do the show. Is like part of what's great about getting people on to like explain the glitches and things for a show like this is that it gives you the opportunity to learn in case you're interested in like trying it out for yourself. Or sometimes you see glitches that are so easy. You're like, I could do this on a casual playthrough. I think I'm going to play the game again and just try it. And you never know where that will take you. Like maybe you'll end up speedrunning it. Maybe it'll encourage you to do something else or look up like, maybe I could try this. And you find a really cool another game-breaking glitch, and then you can contribute that back to the community. So you never know like what will happen with it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh, definitely. And I saw someone asking, should I play casually first or just whatever? I mean, it's up to you. If you find a speedrun that you really enjoy that you watch from somebody else, like by all means go for it. But I would recommend giving the game at least, or any game in general. It doesn't have to be Choo-Choo Charles, but like obviously I'm a fan of it.
Huh.
I would recommend giving any playthrough, any game, just one good casual playthrough and see how it plays. See if you like the controls, because you might not like it, right? You might see it on screen and then you like try playing it and you're like, oh, I don't want to do this.
Okay.
I would say give it one fair shot. See if you enjoy it, and then maybe you enjoy the speedrun more, and we'll enjoy that. Honestly, I don't think I've ever jumped into a game right away speedrunning it. I think I've always played it casually at least once.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also trying to find exactly where this thing is. It should be somewhere on the shoreline here. I forget exactly where it is, but it might be up more north here. I could run towards there. If it's not there, we can just, go from there. But it would be awesome if I can find this little Easter egg they've thrown out into the water. It's on the northwestern side of the map here, so it's definitely somewhere out here. I'm sure if we run this way, we will find it eventually, but yeah.
Somewhere, I'm so curious to see what this is because I actually don't know.
Oh, you actually don't know what this is? Okay.
I don't.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I haven't shown this in a hot minute. I love, personally, when a developer of any game does some fun little stuff like this, where they're just like, oh yeah, we have this scary game about a spider train that's trying to kill everyone on the island and do this. Oh, I hear him, actually. He's over there somewhere. Hopefully he does. If he comes here, that's a bad thing. But like a spider train that's like willing to just, you know, kill everything and stuff. And then they throw in like little cutesy Easter egg things that you're like, what is that doing there? You know, like a fun thing to kind of throw you off. I know games like Grand Theft Auto do that very well. They throw a fun mix of Easter eggs in your face where you're like, wow, I never would have thought they put that in here. And I just love when game devs do that, honestly.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
It's got to be, we're getting towards the edge, so it's got to be right around here somewhere. Hopefully.
And again, like, we know that we saw, got to see, what am I trying to say? Got to see Charles in another game.
Yes, the crossovers.
Yes.
I think it was Garden of Bonbon.
Yes, that's that's your.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was like, wait a minute, just heard that.
What is this thing?
No, I'm just staring at the water, so I was like.
No, I'm also very curious. It should be floating in the water. Oh, there it is. There we are.
Oh, yay! Okay.
So for some reason, in a game with a spooky spider train where people are running for their lives and everything, it's a little rubber ducky.
Oh, that's
I mean, it's okay. It's a giant rubber ducky because it's way out there. But there's a little rubber ducky just thrown about in the middle there. So I love when devs do this. Just have funny little things here. And I honestly didn't expect to finish this early, so I was like, oh, what can I show off real quick? Oh yeah, there's a rubber ducky.
There is a rubber ducky in the game. I love it. And then again, like with BloodRayne, we got to see like an unused asset, like for levels, like they're unused levels that you can like find within the game, which is really cool. I love seeing stuff like this. Again, just like extra things, Easter eggs, unused assets, all kinds of stuff like that. I wonder what else is contained within this game that like we don't necessarily know about yet, that like maybe was used or like almost used, I mean, or you never know.
Yeah, there's a couple other things. I know there's like a grave that has somebody's name on it that I forget what the relation is to the game or the developer, but they're in it. And there's a moist critical mode.
Okay.
They replace they replace Charles' face and head with a model of moist critical, basically.
Okay.
And it's just, I feel like that's even scarier. I probably should open with that, but you know.
Wow. All right, awesome.
Yeah, that's Choo-Choo Charles.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Bird. I appreciate you coming on and showing off some Charles. It's a cool run. Again, it seems like it's also something that is definitely attainable in terms of if you wanted to learn a speed run and you wanted to join the indie horror community. It's a great game to learn. It's cool. It's got some fun tech and I don't know, like some interesting timing in it too. So thank you, Bird. I appreciate you being here and being on the show. You did an awesome job. Can you tell us where we can find you, what you're doing? Do all your plugs.
Thank you so much, Fu. It was great to be here. I am, as I said, I'm mainly like a Nintendo speedrunner. I do Mario stuff, 3D, and Wonder as of late. But from time to time, I'll be doing Choo-Choo Charles and I'm looking into other indie horror games as well. So if there are people within the community that are like, hey, you should try this game, I would love to check it out. You can find me at twitch.tv/bird650, on YouTube as bird650, and pretty much anywhere else as bird650. So if you're interested in the content, come on by, say hello. And I just thank you again, Fu, for having me on your show. It's been a fantastic time.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you, and go have a good rest of your night. Entertain people. And everybody in chat, please go give Bird a follow. Go say hello during whatever content he's doing, and give him some other games to try out. Like, why not some other fun, scary games to potentially try? I know that Scooby-Doo was a recent thing for you as well. You're trying out?
That's right. The scariest game I've most recently learned to speedrun is Scooby-Doo Classic Creep Capers. That's right.
It's a fantastic game for the N64. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. My dream is to get that one into GDQ and have it in the horror block.
Yeah.
Not anything else, but in the horror block. Just smack dab. Like Resident Evil, Scooby-Doo, Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. Awesome, Bird. Okay, cool. Have a good rest of your night. And everybody, we are going to take another break so we can get on our third guest with our third game. But this is a short series, I believe, for Northbury Grove. It's going to be really cool. We have Zomb Slays coming on next. Super excited. I love seeing, again, this like wealth of indie horror games because there's so many out there. So it's really cool to see kind of like how they're appearing as speedruns. And just for any more announcements for you all before we take a break, Game So Quick is hiring. Reminder. So if you're a business developer or you have experience in recruiting sponsorships and you'd like to work for GDQ, you can go to gamesunquick.com/jobs. So check that out. Or if you haven't registered yet for this upcoming AGDQ 2024, go do that because I want to see you all there. It's super, it's the chillest convention style event. It's so fun. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm going to have some water. We'll be right back in a few minutes with our third game. All right, everyone, welcome back to Out of Bounds. This is our final section of the show. Very excited. Once again, hi, I'm Kungfufruitcup, just in case you're joining us for this evening. And I bring on people who are speedrunning glitch-heavy speedruns, and they get to show them off, break them down, slow it down. It's like a glitch showcase. It's super fun. So we've been showing off games from the indie horror community, and it's super cool. So now we have Zomb Slays, who's here to show off games from the Northbury Grove series. What's up, Zomb?
I'm good. I'm hanging out. How are you, Fu? How's everybody doing in chat?
Oh, that's a good question. Chat, how are you all doing? How are you finding the games so far? I think they're pretty cool, right? Not too scary.
Right.
When things are in speedrun form, I'm telling you, they just kind of ceased to be scary. I think that's what allowed me to start watching more like scary gaming content in the first place. Because I think great. Now I am much more knowledgeable about it. It's cool. I'm good, and I'm really excited to see this. What's gonna happen is I'm just gonna let you do a countdown and take us into it. Feel free to let us kind of know what's happening over the course of the series because I've never seen these before.
Yeah, definitely.
So let us know what these are about and kind of what got you into them, and then just take us away with all the glitches and everything. It's the stage is yours.
Absolutely.
I'm just here to answer or relay questions and yeah.
Right. So, okay, first things first, time starts on first movement. So we can just count down really quick in 3, 2, 1, and go. So this is Northbury Grove, if you guys already couldn't tell by now. But Northbury Grove, what is Northbury Grove, right? So this is essentially a town. I'm not sure what state this game is based in, but this is based in a small town, and you play as a member of a group of friends, right? So you have a couple of characters that you play as throughout the game. But when it comes to the first game, this takes place at a rock festival, actually. It's called Blue Ridge Rock Festival. And you can see the sign right here. So essentially, it's your kind of run-of-the-mill slasher setting. Of course, right? Group of friends, go to the party, yada, yada, yada. You know the drill.
Right.
So that's basically what we're doing here, and that's what Northbury Grove is. But this first game kind of has a crazy reputation in the indie horror speedruns community because there's quite a lot of history here. And this map is actually huge, as you see me running around here. But we'll only be using pretty much the left side of the map here. But normally the game starts out, we'll just dip into the woods. But normally the game starts out with you kind of just running out your tent, and then you find out the place where your car is staying on this campground here is locked.
Huh.
So you have all the cars here. Everything's just kind of locked up, and you're like, oh no, how do I get in there? And you have to collect a bunch of items here, right? So basically the only thing that we truly need to escape is the bolt cutters. So normally you'd go in through here, right? And the gate would close, and then you go into the warehouse, because this is obviously where the bolt cutters are. And then, of course, the scary music and whatnot hits, right? So there's a bunch of doors here. A whole lot of doors. And the only door that we really need or care about is this one on the right. So we'll just open that real quick, open this other one, and then we'll go in this hallway. So, one thing I actually want to explain before we continue this. So what you just saw me use right there was a fast restart. So I pressed F1 and I was able to fast restart and pretty much just go back to the spawn. Because like I said, this is a relatively short run. So
Sure.
things like F1 restarts or just quick restarts tend to help out like a lot. So
That's cool. That's really nice set.
right, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So in addition to that, we actually use a speedrun mod. So when it comes down to RNG in this run, we completely took it out. So everybody who speedruns this game essentially uses the speedrun mod, and all that does is takes all the randomness out of the run. So for instance, when it comes to the bolt cutters, I think there's like 7 or like 8 spawns for the bolt cutters. But we narrowed it down to 1 that both glitchless and glitch runs can use. So that's really nice. And then on top of that, we set the car to be the first car right here, because there's multiple spawns. I'll show you later once we get in this gate, but there's multiple spawns for this car here. One of them is actually outside the map, but we also changed that as well. Just again for RNG purposes and to really like fully optimize the run without really like worrying about, oh, I didn't get that right spawn, I'm gonna have to restart, We really wanted to see like what the true limit is, and like I said, right now current record's at 57 seconds. So
Wow.
yeah, so it can definitely get like really dicey, but again, normally you just want to hit the fence and then we'll head back over here. So once you enter the warehouse, the reason why I restarted, once you enter the warehouse, the killer actually spawns and starts chasing you. So I didn't want that to happen while I was explaining something. So before we go in here, these are where the bolt cutter spawns, like I mentioned. But when it comes down to really the first strategy that we ever came up with for this game was this route that I'm about to show you. So essentially, we have the bolt cutters spawn up here in the cafeteria. So we go in here, we grab the bolt cutters, then we go back over to this room over here with a bunch of bodies and craziness in it, right? But what you're going to want to do right there, that was actually really quick, you just press crouch and you just clip out the building. So essentially, essentially you just fall out of the building and now you can't get back in because the game still thinks that you're locked in there. So yeah, it's a bit of a crazy strategy, but that was the first one that we ever did. And then obviously you would need to escape and kind of press 2 triggers here. So there's one trigger that you just saw here. Where did Crystal go? I hope she's okay. She has the keys to the car. So this is the one that spawns in Crystal with the keys that you need to escape. So pretty much after you grab the bolt cutters, you'd want to run out. And you're like, oh my god, I gotta escape, run. And then you run over to Crystal. She has perished, and you grab the keys. And then you pretty much just run to the car. And that would be GG, but there's a lot more that I have to explain here. So
Okay, great.
we'll restart again, right? And that's pretty much like the original strategy that we had here. That was like one of the earliest ones. And I think, I'm not sure who that was found by. I want to say it was found by Mild Goth Daddy. I want to say it was, but I'm not too sure. I can't say that with accuracy. But that strategy eventually got canned, and we were like, yeah, that's too slow. And then a runner by the name of Tariq actually found an insane strategy that I actually hated at first. This was definitely a strategy that I wasn't fond of at all. A lot of people will tell you, like me as a runner, I was not fond of doing this whatsoever. So instead of dealing with the bolt cutters and the fence and the that and the this, Tariq managed to find a way to hop over this fence. And just kind of looking at it, you're kind of like
there's no way.
Yeah, you're like, I don't know. But there is a way. There is indeed a way. So before I actually show you how, the way that this kind of structure here was created was pretty much just stacking a bunch of fences on top of each other, to be honest with you, because we actually opened this game in a Unity editor. So we were able to see like the map in dev mode and things like that. So we found out that there's like 1 billion fences stacked here, and then there's 1 billion fences stacked over by the car as well. So that's pretty much what gives them a decent amount of collision. So, right. So that's kind of like where this led us. And normally you'd start the run, you run down the normal path and you'd be like, okay, no problem. And then it's just a straight line to this fence. And then you just kind of spam jump and like swing your mouse around. That's like, yeah, like that's kind of the way that I like to do it. There's been people who have gotten like really crazy fences like on that section, but that's kind of the way that I like to do it. So relatively simple, right? So we'll just restart back at the start and we'll run down here. So there's actually 2 more fence hops that I kind of want to explain, definitely.
Yeah.
So
Love it. It's like, why not? Why can't we just hop over the fence?
right. And I'm not gonna lie, that's probably why this run is like relatively intimidating to, you know, new runners or runners who just haven't speedrun anything short, I guess, because like this can go into like reset city super quick, right? Because straight line to the fence, reset, straight line to the fence, reset. So it can get pretty monotonous for sure.
What I think a good way to follow that up, though, is that saying, like, you just get the time that you get, you'll work on improving it, but, like, include it in the series. Because you're doing several games that you can kind of stitch together and be like, hey, look, there's a bunch of different things that can just stack these together and do a series run.
Absolutely, no question.
Yeah.
No question. So there's that first hop, and there's 2 other ones, and the third one I don't even really want to talk about, but I'll definitely explain it for the show, because the third one is a little bit insane. But this one right here is a little bit more difficult, but once you kind of understand it, it's pretty easy. So this is pretty much the same process, except you're going to like kind of hip check this tree here. And once again, why this tree kind of like lets you glue to it, I'm not sure. But if you just kind of like, it's a very like not starting strategy. I would never recommend anybody kind of do this. So just like that, you'd like hip check it a little bit, and then you just kind of like hop over with the somewhat like mouse waving motion, which, believe it or not, saves a little bit more time because you don't have to climb the fence. You pretty much like jump, hit the tree, and then you hop over, and then that's that.
Gotcha.
And then you'd be good to go. So then obviously you'd hop over, and then that's pretty much the new strategy. So now we don't even exit out of this doorway here. We don't do anything to do with this. So normally you'd hop the fence however you want to hop the fence, right? And then we open this door, and the new way to grab the bolt cutters, now we don't even go upstairs actually. There's a couple different ways to grab them here. The easiest way is to go into this room and you just kind of look up and you see the bolt cutters there. So you can just grab them.
Jump and grab them?
Like 100%. So that one is the easiest, and then you can actually do it from this side as well. So if you wanted to get like a straighter line, you definitely could do it from this side as well.
That's so funny.
But you just grab them and then you'd run out essentially. So now you don't even spawn in the killer. And then this jump that I just did, that jump right there is very specific. So there's 2.
Oh, looks like we have we may have had a quick mute. We're trying to we are gonna figure that out. Oh.
Test. How are we looking?
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
we got you. Yay, that was quick. Good job.
Okay, yeah. So
all the troubleshooting. Okay, so you were going over the boxes and you
Right.
Like,
I went over the boxes, bam, lost the
really
mic.
Specific. And then you're like
Okay, yeah. So we're explaining the 2 triggers, right? And essentially you're kind of hitting both triggers at the same time.
Okay.
And that's what the game thinks, and then you're like, okay, I'm out of here. And then you'd want to go grab the keys again as well. So that's pretty much that. But before we kind of end off with NBG1, we're going to go talk about the last fence jump over here. So on our long road back here, this is the last jump that kind of I don't particularly enjoy.
Okay.
But I think the top 2 times actually have hit this jump. And it's essentially the same thing with the other jump, but you come up to this tree here. Okay. So again, all of this is in the name of like a straighter line. So if I don't get it within like a couple tries here, I'll probably move on to NBG2 because this one is definitely a little crazy for sure. Oh, actually, and I'll explain the car thing as well because that's definitely important for sure.
Okay. So I like that there are multiple ways you can do this, so which makes it does make it more beginner friendly.
Absolutely, absolutely. I would absolutely agree with you for sure.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
So yeah, this one is just something that like people actually dread doing because it's either you hit it like super clean and you're like, wow, that was so good, or it's like, I've just reset on this for like the past like 100 times. What am I doing?
Yeah.
So
seems like it's just the angle of it is so much.
Absolutely, and it's like a quick combination of like crouch jumping as well. So it can definitely be a bit tough. So essentially, what you would do is just end up almost on the back of the truck, and then you'd pretty much take like the same line in.
Okay.
So before we go, we'll talk a little bit about the cars as well. So
sounds good.
This is kind of funny here. So when it comes down to MBG and its RNG, I think about every item has about like 7 or 8 spawns or so. So that's why we pretty much set it to be the way it is because that can be a little rough, especially when it comes down to like wanting to optimize the run. So the car was included with a lot of our shenanigans. So
okay.
When it comes down to this car, the white one is the car that you need to hit, and you see my frames kind of tweak out here. That's because there's 500 fences stacked here. Like
what?
Yeah, like that's what I was talking about. When we opened it in dev mode, we were always curious why this did this. Okay. Because if you like run into the fence, like you'll see my frames lag, but it does like nothing to me. That's what this is.
You just stacked it. That's so interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a bit crazy for sure. Yeah. But that's the car that you would need to hit super fast, no problem. Okay. But there's about one over there, there's one there, there's a bunch of them in this lot. But one time, I think me and Pleasantly and a couple other people were running this game, and we found out that there's actually, I want to say it's like right here. And I don't know if it's intended or not, but if you're playing this casually for the first time, there's actually a car spawn right here, and you'd never know it.
What?
Yeah. And it's
like non-visible?
Yeah, non-visible, and it's right here. Oh. And if I could get it to spawn, I would, because it's actually pretty crazy. I think it's a troll, but it could just be completely like unintended. Because like I guess a troll would make sense, because it's like, okay, if you get that one, you're never like beating the game. So it's like you as a casual player would think that you're screwed. You're like, oh my god. But
yeah.
Definitely there to like drive you a little bit crazy and whatnot for sure. But yeah, that's the gist of Northbury Grove 1.
Nice.
That's about the main pieces of tech and strategy that I have for you guys for the first game anyway.
Sweet, let's get into game 2.
Absolutely.
We have 4 to go through, I believe, right?
Yeah, right.
Cool.
So let me just switch over right quick, and then we shall be good to go.
Sounds good.
So yeah, this one again, like I was saying, is a bit quicker. It is a bit quicker. And I said that Northbury Grove 1 was a little bit, tedious to get into, but this one, in my opinion, is absolutely, unequivocally the hardest one to do. No question.
Okay.
Kind of rough, kind of stinks, but I wanted to include it here just because we need to give all the NBGs some love, right? And actually, this is kind of unexpected. This is actually kind of unexpected here. So...
Like how so?
Funny kind of perk for King's Comfort. So when it hits midnight, you have something called midnight mode. And it's actually midnight Eastern time here. So that's why we have a slightly different game mode here to show off to you guys, which is actually kind of crazy because the only way to really play this is after midnight. I think the game just automatically switches and you're essentially playing the same game, except it's like supposed to be slightly harder and things like that. So yeah, before we get into this, let's absolutely talk about this. So
perfect.
This is essentially the sequel to Northbury Grove 1, and it's called King's Comfort. King's Comfort is the name of a hotel, and you're kind of playing as the same group of characters, and this is happening while the Blue Ridge Rock Fest is happening as well.
Okay. Oh, we may have lost your audio. We can get that one more time. I believe in the dream.
Assessed.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Good.
So,
okay, yay.
Let's...
has the answer now.
Oh, actually, wow. Okay, so the killer's actually outside.
Wow. Oh, hello.
He's just kind of hanging out there. So again,
he's not doing so good.
Yeah, no, he's definitely not. He's definitely not. So this is the thing with midnight mode. Essentially, it's supposed to be harder, right? So when it comes down to what they changed, the killer doesn't usually spawn this fast, but because we're in midnight mode, he's already here waiting for us to come hang out, which for us, in our case, is actually really good. So...
Okay, tell me why.
The killer is pretty much what you need to complete this whole run, to be honest with you. So, like I told you, record's 45 seconds. And this is pretty much the standard. So you'd have a regular set of keys here, and the regular goal is to just collect all the keys and you're good to go. You pretty much like grab a phone and then you call the cops and then you're pretty much out. But that's not what we're gonna do here. That's absolutely not what we're gonna do. So you'd pretty much want to grab 2 sets of keys, and then you'd want to look for the killer. So here he is. And in avoidance to not grab the other set of keys, we'll just bring him over here and have him force open this door. Oh no, I might die. We'll call the cops like that. And I just like to juke him out a little bit. So what we're doing there is that was like really, really quick, and that was like really insane. So like I said, you need to grab a bunch of keys, right? But you only need 2 pairs of keys. And the third pair is kind of like out of the way. It takes a little bit longer. And you don't really want to, you don't really want to deal with that. So we kind of brute force it. And we have him open that last door so we can call the cops. And then we have him open it again so we can leave, which definitely is not easy.
Oh, because you don't want to die in the process.
Right. Which is why I said it's kind of like the hardest one, because not a lot of people kind of want to take on that challenge, I guess.
Right.
So we'll give it another shot here.
It's not like damage boosting exactly, but it is like
And then we'll just run back. Please don't hit me. I don't even think I called the cops. Okay, so he disappeared on us. Well, that can happen too. That can absolutely happen too. Yeah, so when you're crouch hopping around those tables and you're kind of like what I think is happening is the game is noticing that you're like out of bounds, so it despawns the killer. But you're not really like out of bounds because you're just kind of doing one of these and you're just kind of like poking your head through. So I'm pretty sure that's what despawns him. I'm pretty sure. But optimally, you wouldn't want to jump over the counter anyway. It's not like that's like a good strategy to do. That's just purely so I don't like die super fast. So
right, and you've been trying to explain it, so
right, exactly. And then now that we're in midnight mode though, this kind of makes it easier on us because we don't have to grab any of the keys. So now we're just waiting for the killer and wherever he's at. I'm pretty sure he has the same spawn. So yeah, he does. He just spawns behind that building.
oh nice, you can just run over there, activate him, and like run to the room. No keys necessary, and this is why it's so quick.
Yep.
So it's less so a glitch in this game and more so that you're just taking advantage of.
And then he disappeared again.
No.
Yep. So that one's a little bit rough just because you can die super quick. And one thing that you should note about Northbury Grove 2 is the health is actually RNG. So the slasher can kill you in either 1 or 3 hits. Wow. And obviously the 1 is the least optimal. And then the 3, you'd be chilling. So then you're fine. But
you need to be able to take 2 hits, I think.
Right, exactly. At least 2.
Yeah.
So we'll give this another shot.
Oh, silly how there's RNG on how many hits you can take. I don't thing.
Almost.
Oh, okay.
That's what's like super rough about that is like you're pretty much guaranteed to die like every single time. And that's like
you have to get lucky.
Yeah, exactly. But the shame about this game before we go is nothing else has been found, realistically.
It's really quick. 45 seconds. I don't know what.
Yeah, right. Like we've tried a bunch of crazy stuff, like trying to like clip into the office, like through the roof, or like try to get on this car here, or things like that. But it just wasn't happening, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
So the brute force door is the main trick here, and I applaud anybody who actually puts down a time for this for sure.
Yeah, fair. That's fair. Okay, leading into the third game then.
Yep, absolutely. So
like trying to get that to work is partially based on RNG, and I'd rather see more glitch stuff.
yeah, it's definitely RNG. It's definitely RNG.
Right.
And it's somewhat of a glitch, right? Because it's not like truly intended. It's not like, okay, that's totally like supposed to be a thing.
Yeah.
So, now this game is probably the most broken out of everything, but definitely the most unoptimized performance-wise. Definitely. For sure. Yep.
Okay. Wait, this is all new to me, so.
Right. So,
what kind of things are we expecting to see as we go through this one? I know you said some general stuff, but like what's like the most common thing?
So true to the show's name, you'll be seeing a lot of out of bounds, to be honest with you, a lot. This is the longest out of every Northbury Grove game.
Nice.
Current record is 4:36, and in retrospect, it's not that long, but compared to like 57 seconds and 45 seconds, it's pretty long.
Yeah.
So, I'm definitely excited to show you guys this one. But before we get even remotely into this, the main menu will look a little weird to you, right? Because the text is off screen and this, that, and a third. So I mentioned earlier that this game is insanely unoptimized. So you have to play in a very low resolution.
Okay.
And one of the perks of that is, you know, everything on the screen is like super smush and it's very like hard to read. So say if I was playing in like 720 or I was playing in 1080, you'd have like a full menu here. You'd have pretty much like everything you need to see. But we don't, because we're playing, I think it's like 640 by something. To where the game like actually runs decent. So yeah. So right here, you'll see me click on his back, or like somewhere near like his lower back is where like start game is. So like we just kind of spam like right in that area, and then you'll just see the screen fade in, and then that's it.
Yay, the game started.
Yes. And
Yay.
This one actually starts blind. So we usually start time on the crosshair. But I'm not going to move because this is actually one of the cooler glitches in the first level.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So you're going to have a weird fade in here. This game definitely has a huge thing with a fade in. They love fading everything in here. But essentially, this is your spawn point here. And,
quality different.
Yeah. This is your spawn point here. And usually you would just start the run and then you'd pretty much go to town. But for this, I'm going to turn down my graphics because this game actually, for some reason, resets your graphic settings every time you load in.
Okay.
So yeah, it's pretty rough. Like each level transition, your graphics will automatically be on high.
Weird.
So,
okay.
Yeah, it's like really, really rough. But for obviously the purpose of the showcase, everything's going to be on low, and we'll be able to show you guys everything. So you would spawn here, and then you walk forward. You go all the way, down the trail and everything like that. But we're not going to do that. And this is actually one of the more newer strategies. We're going to climb this wall, but I think one of the only like easier ways to climb it is if you climb it backwards here.
Oh.
So you want to just climb backwards and just like hold crouch. And then you're kind of pretty much there.
Oh.
Yeah, right. So you're on top of the mountain here.
Wow. Okay.
And
That's awesome.
You're kind of overlooking everything. And you want to just drop down to the other side pretty much. Now, when we drop down to this side, we're actually out of bounds. So if I try to walk over to this tent here, it's not going to work and I can't get out.
Weird. Okay.
Right, so this whole area is pretty much blocked off by an invisible wall. And the only way to get back in that we've found is to actually climb a tree. So out of all these trees, and this actually took me a while to learn, out of all these trees here, this one for some reason allows the ability to climb it. And if you're not like holding forward, you can just kind of spam crouch and jump and just climb the tree and then just hop back in bounds.
Because you hop like kind of up the branch. Gotcha.
Right, and then you're good to go. And then that's that. So
Interesting.
Quick out of bounds, but this is also a quick level. So you just want to go grab those tickets over there. There's this van here. You want to hit the van trigger. And I mentioned earlier about speedrun DLLs and how we use them for Northbury Grove. This is actually the second game that we use speedrun DLLs for. So
there you go.
a lot of these cutscenes and a lot of this kind of like a lot of the texts and things like that are all shortened down because obviously that just wasn't our mojo.
Yeah.
So you're essentially just supposed to leave this tent and then the level ends pretty much. And then I think that's the most major thing here is that huge out of bounds and then you climb the wall and then that's it. So then the killer pops out of the grass and then he kills you and that's it.
What?
Yep. So kind of like one of those like preview kind of like trailer kind of levels almost.
Okay, and then I was like, that was not 4.5 minutes. or whatever.
Right. So now we're on to level 2.
Okay.
Now we're on to level 2.
Okay.
So now we have 2 more levels after this. But this level is actually pretty crazy. This trick is actually really, really important. So essentially you're spawning in a basement here, and there's a whole lot of puzzles that you would normally do. And they have to do with these power cells here. You need these power cells to kind of open up a door. And you'd want to pick one up, and then you're like, oh my god, there's power cells here, and we got to open up the door. So you open up the door, and then you look at this cup of unknown liquid. So this is actually kind of funny here too, because this is a little bit of RNG, and this is actually something we didn't change for some reason. But there's a key in this cup of liquid here, and you drink it, and the key, you're supposed to throw it up, and you have like a 5 to like 8 second window. So
Or to like for you to suddenly throw up.
yeah, right. So if I restart and I kind of hit the liquid again, and we're just waiting on it, it's a lot longer. Yeah,
weird.
so
Got a little
Water up
RNG
again.
there.
right, and then you're just like boom, RNG. But that's kind of important for what we're about to show you. So like I said, there's a bunch of puzzles here, a whole lot of stuff you're supposed to do. And in this room, this is like the golden room here. This is pretty much where we want to be. So when it comes to this level's trick, I believe like the fastest time is like 12 seconds or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So essentially you'd want to grab the key, throw it up, and then these pipes here, Pleasantly definitely found this, and then we all just kind of worked on it together. But these levers here you can actually stand on. Why or how? It's just a thing. But just like that, you're kind of out of bounds. And this is the gas that I was talking about, because this whole room is supposed to be filled with gas, and you're supposed to turn the levers and yada yada yada. Well, we're not doing any of that. We're already out of bounds. So then you want to just kind of jump a little bit, and you're on top of the wall now. So how I got up here was essentially a combination of crouch jumping. Moving forward, but also like spamming crouch jump is essentially like what gets it done there for sure. So now you're out of bounds, and now you can pretty much see the entire map from like an insane kind of angle. Like I said, there's probably like 3 or 4 puzzles that you would have to complete, but outside of that, we just kind of cross the walls, I guess. But okay, so that's what I wanted to mention. You can actually get stuck. You get stuck there like relatively often, and you'll end up restarting there a lot if you get stuck. But it's very easy to like get stuck in between walls and whatnot. But we'll get over to the end trigger, and then we'll go check that out as well. You're just gonna want to hop right back up, and then so just like that, you can walk along now. But if you're like a little bit too close, you can pop right back in like I did the last run, and you definitely don't want to do that. So you want to come to like the end of this hallway, and you see like the light and things like that. This is the door that you need the power cells for. But once again, the trigger's just right here, and then the level ends.
Awesome. Okay.
Yep. So nice and quick. And then that's that. So yeah, we just kind of wait for this.
Survived for now.
Yeah, for now, right? We had actually thought the game had ended there because that level took us so long to beat, like casually. But,
that you're like, okay, so that's the game.
Yeah, right.
Then it keeps going.
Right, and we were like, see, they even do the game created by the fake credits, but it totally psychs you out. So we're here on the third level.
Just one more part then?
Well, we have to do this third level, but this one's super, super quick as well, more out of bounds, and then we'll have one more level. So yes, you are correct.
Oh, there's 4. Okay.
So essentially, this is farm. This is another level that has like a whole lot of puzzles and a whole lot of craziness going on with it. you're actually supposed to like build the tractor or something along those lines, and escape. You're supposed to get a gas can and all that craziness, but we're not going to do that.
Going up the wall.
We're going up the wall, right? And this is something.
So you're not spamming the mouse like you did in the first game, but you are doing like jump spamming.
Right.
Little jumps.
And this one's kind of interesting because, unlike the first game, this one utilizes crouch jumping like a lot more.
Oh, so you're crouch jumping. Okay, that's good to know.
Right. So when you're climbing up this wall, you kind of hit like a plateau, and you can kind of like poke your head over. So when you're spamming jump and you can kind of like see over like this is when you want to start crouch spamming, and you're kind of like brute forcing yourself up a little bit, because there's like a little platform here, because I'm standing up now. So there's just a little platform that you just kind of like maneuver on, and you skip a whole, I think, like 5 minutes. There, at least 5 minutes. So you just kind of hop over that wall, and then you're good to go. And then you pretty much just run to the end of the level, pretty much.
Okay, that's cool. And so that's why that one takes so little time.
Right, exactly. Because normally that's easily like a 4 or 5 minute level for sure, no question.
But you just hop over all the stuff you have to do.
And then you just kind of run to the end, wham, blam, hit the phone, call for help. That'd be it.
Nice. Is the killer supposed to be in that level and chase you?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Yeah, the killer's in that level and the level prior as well.
Oh, I didn't even think to ask.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Because like all the puzzles and things like that, eventually like spawn him in, and yeah,
sure.
so we won't see much of him in this run.
Oh, okay. So you do actually see him in this one.
Right.
In the first chapter, and then the second and the last chapter.
So, a couple things about this house. Much like the fence in the first game, this house is filled with a bunch of objects that shouldn't really be stacked on top of each other.
Okay.
It's very much just really rough to run, but thankfully, since we're in a showcase, and actually I started doing this recently in my runs, I just go in here and turn it down to low and just sacrifice the 1 or 2 seconds just because it's that worth it. It's that much worth it to do. So, yeah, we're in the house. This is the last level of the game. A couple things here to show off, and we'll get to it. So, there's a trigger that you need to hit. You want the microwave downstairs to go off because we have some pizza rolls in there and we got to go get them. So the way to do that is you just spam these tickets and you're like, okay, no problem. I'll go downstairs and I'll go get my pizza rolls.
Okay.
Bam. Then you open the microwave and you go back upstairs. 2 seconds, no problem. Go back up. I'm in my room. Now we're going to set up for a blind here because you can actually move while the transition is happening. So, essentially, you'll just be walking backwards while this fade-in happens. So you'll try to sleep, and then turn your flashlight on because it's just a little easier to see.
Okay.
So then once the thunder hits, like that, walk back a little bit, and then we'll walk to the right, and then we'll kind of strafe down the hallway, and then now we're downstairs, but just a few seconds earlier. So, quick little blind there, and then you're supposed to check the voicemail.
Okay.
And then the phone rings. You answer the phone. But there's a part you just saw me grab here on this dresser, and that's to build the final weapon that you're supposed to not kill the killer with, but you can actually pretty much stun him, and then
get out.
Yes, right, exactly. So this next trick here is kind of inconsistent, not really, if you know how to do it. So we're gonna clip out of this roof here, NBG fashion and all that.
Okay.
So
nice.
Again, with the crouch jumping, you're gonna want to like get as close as possible, and then you'll see your head kind of poke out like this. So now you can see that you're like outside of the roof kind of deal. So you just want to like uncrouch and jump, and now you're on the roof.
Nice. Okay.
So I think it has something to do with like that kind of area right there, but then you're kind of out relatively earlier. and you want to hop up here, go to the house next door. It's just kind of like your next door neighbors and whatnot. You're going to want to open their garage door, grab this key card so we can enter in another building. And
Weird,
then,
okay.
Yeah, that's about it. So all you need is that key card there. And then we're going to look on the ground here to save our frames a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say it makes you go faster. I'm assuming because you don't have to worry about stuff
Right,
floating around you.
exactly.
Cool. Okay. That makes more sense. Okay.
So then eventually you just kind of pull up to this club over here, and then that's why you need the key card, because you want to get into the club. Actually, this is kind of like a really insanely fancy neighborhood that they have their own like private club. But you want to get into the club, and you want your butter knives here. You want to hit this panic button. You want your gloves. You want these wires.
Oh.
So a couple things you got to grab there. And then you want to pry open the door, and then you're good.
Very
So
strong.
normally there's another key that we want to grab here, but we don't need the key because we're going to show off something really cool.
Ooh, okay.
The last part is this wooden club here. So we'll grab this wooden club, and then we'll be on our way. So now we have to build our weapon. And we're like, okay, how are we going to do that? You know, because we were talking about a key earlier, and you know, we don't need the key and things like that. So this is kind of an interesting trick here. So hopefully I just get it first try and I don't have to worry about it. And I did not. So you're gonna want to like crouch jump up this like door to ledge kind of deal.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So it's a very like tough jump if you don't hit it. Because, okay, yeah, perfect.
Are you almost
That's
like
huge.
jumping off the knob or something? See the doorknob?
So, you're on the roof, and then you're good to go. And then, this is where you'd normally build the bat, like, inside the house, right? So, you come over to this side of the house, you crouch, and you press X, and you can actually lean inside of the house and place everything on the bat, essentially. Just like that.
Now you have it with you.
Right. And then
There he is.
kind of want to bring him with us.
Okay.
So he's like, hey, you just totally built that bat in front of my face. And we're gonna go over here. Jump over this. Actually, did he just disappear? He did disappear. So this game has a weird mechanic where the thunder will make him disappear and then reappear.
Oh.
So hopefully he just comes over here and we don't have to go find him. But usually he's just hanging out somewhere.
You need him?
Yeah.
Okay. Whoop.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's
You get back out?
he's gonna come through. See if we can find our door here. Okay, yeah, there we go. Alright, let's go find him so we can end this shenanigan party. Where is he at? Oh my god!
Oh. That's weird.
He just hit me and disappeared.
Oh my god,
wait.
what? Oh,
There he goes. Okay, he's there. Come on, buddy.
You're just facing him to make
Please
sure
don't disappear. We just need to do this. So boom, done him. And then that would be time for, you know, a regular like 80% run.
Nice. Okay,
So-
cool.
Pretty much you're just kind of like hitting the box there, and then all that stuff falls on top of them and blah blah blah, things like that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay,
Yeah.
so we've made it through 3 out of 4, right?
Right.
And we have one more quick one, I think. No? Is this fourth one quicker or the... Okay. Oh, I lost your audio. Help me out. Got this.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Okay. What were you saying?
Definitely not as quick as the other games, but
Oh,
it'll
okay.
be quick. It'll definitely be quick for sure.
You're good.
So one main trick here to show off, and then I think we'll be good. But this main trick though is kind of a worker for sure. So we'll explain it definitely.
Sounds good to me.
Perfect. A lot of people like this song. I just find it super, super annoying. Like, I'll just start this instantly because that is not my jam. That is not my jam. But maybe I've just heard it too much. That's probably what it is.
I feel like that can happen eventually. You just get tired of the song.
Right, definitely. So starting off, there's another blind here. Essentially, you can kind of move while you're not supposed to move. But because this game doesn't have a fast restart and we don't want to open up the game again, we'll just explain the blind. So we spawn here. And Joey's talking over me. So this is one of the more unconventional NVG games in the aspect that it's kind of like a walking sim, but not really. So it's very interesting. So when it comes down to this blind, like I said, you just kind of start here, and while you're gaining vision or you're waiting for the black screen to go away, you'll just want to walk backwards. But a lot of this kind of has to do with like mouse movement. So you kind of got to do like one of these, and it's actually a lot faster to jump. So
oh wow, that was much faster.
Right. So when you go ahead and jump, you'll be good. But back to the point, because Joey was talking over me super loud. Yeah, this is one of the more unconventional NVG games in the aspect that, it's not filled with crazy movement. It was very much, according to the devs, this was supposed to be the Northbury Grove 1 remake, but then they opted to make a kind of a follow-up to NVG 3. And essentially, you're just kind of investigating the first game's building is really what this is, and you're actually playing as a live streamer. So, kind of funny. Mm-hmm. But, so essentially, you hit that blind, and then you go inside. And you'll get stopped to like listen to these quotes here a bit, and it's kind of crazy, but we've kind of found a way to use it to our advantage for sure.
Okay.
So we'll wait for this quote to be done. That'll be good. So you'd think a walking sim game wouldn't have that much kind of crazy stuff in it. You're like, yeah, like what could possibly like be going on here? Well, you're right. Right. It's like, it's possible, but it's, this though, I'm still kind of baffled on how Tarek found this, but out of everything in this run, and it is pretty major and game breaking, for some reason you can hop on this light here. I'll zoom in on it. And why you can hop on this light, I have no idea. Because the rest of it doesn't have collision here, just the chains on top.
And the ceiling doesn't have collision.
Correct. That as well.
Okay.
So, like, you could probably, like, you could, like, poke your head through, right? Essentially. But what you're standing on is, actually, you can't sprint for this. So I gotta hit one of those, like, W jumps. Something like, no. So this one's actually kind of crazy because you'll have two different sets of movement speed here.
Okay.
So you'll have like your normal like walking movement speed, and then you'll have this kind of like slow down moving speed when you're kind of like dealing with the text and things like that. So essentially, this is what you want.
Oh, wow.
Just like this.
Okay.
So, just like you saw me struggling there, it actually is that hard if, you're at the normal walking speed. But because we're supposed to be sprinting right now, it's a lot easier for us, thankfully. And then you kind of just want to, like, walk across. So, you'd want to walk across, and then you'd walk across to these vending machines here. And you're just kind of hanging out on top of these. Then you're like, okay, like, how do I get up? You just kind of, like, poke your head through. And then you're up.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So,
sweet.
Yeah, that's pretty much that. And then you'd essentially want to like go up and around and do a whole lot of like ups and downs and a whole lot of other cutscene stuff, but we don't care about any of that. We're here to see the out of bounds, and we're going to see another. So if you just crouch clip like that, you can just walk through this wall here. And you're totally like not supposed to be in this room at all. But I'm pretty sure it's because these things stick out that you're able to do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Much like this one, you can just clip into the bottom floor like that.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I'll go back out just to show you guys again one more time, like, because it's relatively quick. But you just go back up, and then you're like, okay, and you just clip through. It's really just 2 crouch taps is really all it is. And then same thing here, crouch tap. And then other than the light posts and those 2 jumps, that's about that section for glitches. Now we have just about a chill, like 60-second walk to the end, and then that'll be time for sure.
Awesome. Oh,
so unfortunately, we have we have no glitches or anything here. This part of the run has yet to be broken.
The second part, basically.
Right. And you'd think that there would be, but not yet.
Yeah, but
Not
I'm
yet.
sure, again, if more people decide that they're like interested and want to try it out,
Right.
Never know what people find. Be cool.
So pretty much you saw him jump out of a window because he was scared, and then this section can be really jarring for new runners, just because there's a lot of paths and there's a lot of ways to get lost, like heavily. But you just kind of want to go straight, and like I said, jumping's a little bit faster here. So you just want to go straight, keep left, and then once you get to these double tunnels here, you're going to want to take another right.
Okay.
And then you're going to want to take
Got it.
right, and then take another right. And then there's those guys being creepy over there.
Oh my gosh.
And then we have a blackout, so now we can't see, but now we're going down a tunnel.
Okay.
We'll gain vision here in a second, and then we have this tunnel up here that we need to climb up as well. So now we're kind of like out of the sewer, almost, not really. So yeah, now we're almost there. We're almost there. So now we have this one last right to take, and then 2 more lefts. So we walk by that TV, take another left, take another left. And then this is pretty much the end of the run. It's just a straight shot all the way to this like moon area kind of deal, like right there. So you just kind of want to... And again, like I'm like crouch hopping because it's just slightly faster. It's not like insanely faster, but gives you that
Just a
like
little.
extra... Yeah, like gives you that like extra boost.
Sure.
And this is like who the slasher kind of like worships, and then time stops as soon as the credits hit. So time.
Nice. Weird.
Yeah.
How long is that casually? How long do you think each of these games are casually?
Man, great question. So casually, maybe like 6 minutes. 6 minutes or so.
Oh, it's still not that long. Okay.
Yeah, right. I'd say about like 6 minutes. But I like that run just because it's, relatively chill,
Fair. That's
So,
cool.
yeah,
All right, sweet.
That
Got through
was
all 4.
that was Northbury Grove. Couple audio issues, couple little lags here or there, but I mean, we made it work. We made it work for sure.
I would say like you figured out the audio stuff so fast, but like all the stuff was really cool. Just like I like that there's just like it's just little things kind of here and there that you can kind of put together throughout the series.
Right.
And I'm sure people could pick up like, hey, if they just want to pick up one of the 4, they can, or if they want to.
By the way, all those are free. They're free to download. Like they're on itch.io.
Free games.
Free games. All of them are free. So if you want to go play those, feel free. We'd
like
love to
free
come and teach
dollars.
you. Yeah, right. So come on.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on, Zomb. I really appreciate it. And this is cool getting through all 4 of these games. In East Coast time, happy Halloween now.
Oh, thank you so much. Happy pre-Halloween.
Yes, exactly. Halloween Eve.
Happy Halloween,
yes,
chat. Let's get it.
Happy Halloween, chat. What do we want to call? What do we want to call this episode? What would you all call it? Let me know. Let me know. Also, it's time. You're great. You did an awesome job. Tell us where we can find you, what you're working on. Do all your plugs, and if you want to do any extra shout outs for the indie horror community.
Yeah, absolutely. First off, huge shout out to GDQ. Thank you guys for putting on not only this show, but last week's show as well. That was amazing. Huge shout out to you guys, Fu and everybody else involved, Tech and all that. Thank you guys. Huge shout out to you guys. Huge shout out to everybody in my community, right? I'm a full-time social media manager on the side, so huge shout out to all of my guys over there. Huge shout out to the indie horror speedrun community. Huge shout out to Plez, Dig, Mile, Tim, anybody else that I completely forgot. I love you so much. Anybody wants to keep up to date with Zomslays or IHS stuff, you can follow me at Zomslays on all platforms, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. And then you can follow Indie Horror SR as well at Indie Horror SR.
That's awesome. Okay, cool. And what do you stream? Are you doing anything? What's up?
Actually, I stream about 5 to 6 days a week. I was actually playing Northbury for the whole last month or so. So now I'm excited to dive into something a little bit different now,
Nice. And are you going to keep it kind of within the indie horror speedruns or just
Actually I am definitely.
That's awesome. Okay, sweet. Well, there you go. Please go give Zom a follow and I don't know, cheer him on. And again, thank you so much for being here. I'm glad to get the shout outs for IHS. You all should go join that as well. Everybody in there is super nice. When I was coordinating all the guests coming on, they were so helpful. They'd be like, okay, here's what we got. We talked to people in the community. Here you go. Here's some games. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're doing all this work. This is so nice. It was really, really nice. It was awesome to have you all kind of join together to help cultivate these two shows because I don't know, they've been super fun. It's cool to get something different, I like seeing a whole variety of games and just in all different manners of being broken. So thank you again, Zom. You're awesome. Thank you all for being here. Of course, I appreciate you. And we have, and the show runs every other Monday, but we have GDQ Hotfix content happening every day. So feel free to check out our other shows. And don't forget to register for AGDQ 2024 if you want to come mid-January in Pittsburgh. You can register and book hotel room. You can go to gamezonequick.com/schedule if you want to check out the games list. It's awesome. I'm so excited. It's going to be really fun. And thank you all very much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful Halloween and a wonderful rest of your evening. And we'll see you for the next one. Good night, everyone. Bye.